Museum. The market is in support of local and regional artists and the RMAC Foundation. The market is open daily, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., December 3rd through the 31st. Market admission is free. It's time to think about gifts for your loved ones, making it the perfect time to think local. The New Mexico Department of Agriculture presents the New Mexico Taste the Tradition Holiday Lookbook to help you explore unique gifts found in the land of enchantment. Visit elevatenmag.com and visit the gift guide for this holiday season.
If you have an item for Talktivities, email it to calendar@pvbcradio.com. That's calendar@pvbcradio.com.
Smarter Wireless.
Hugh Hewitt is now in Roswell on FM KEND Roswell.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. The Moore County, North Carolina Sheriff says it's clear the gunman who attacked 2 electric substations last weekend knew exactly what he was doing. The attack knocked out power to tens of thousands of utility customers. Duke Energy's Jeff Brooks says crews have been working round the clock to get the lights back on.
Understand, though, that it's not as simple as changing a light bulb, as it were. Some of this equipment does take a significant amount of work, a significant amount of process that goes through putting it into place safely, getting it in service. But we are working in parallel on many paths to make sure there is nothing that delays this return.
The audio from WTVD. Moore County resident Deborah Tyner says that for her and her family, it's hard to keep warm.
Got no way to heat because we don't have a fireplace. And then we don't have no gas grill or anything like that.
Local, state, and federal agencies involved in the investigation, the hunt for the person or persons responsible. Well, now one drug maker is talking about an updated COVID shot for kids under the age of 5.
Currently, children between 6 months and up to 5 years who get Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine are supposed to receive 3 extra small doses. In mid-October, the FDA cleared updated vaccines from both Pfizer and Moderna as boosters for everyone 5 and older. Now, Pfizer is asking U.S. regulators to authorize their updated bivalent version for those younger kids. Targeting the original strain and BA4 and BA5 Omicron variants, it would become the 3rd shot in the series. Jennifer King, Washington.
In a new display of defiance, Ukrainian President Zelensky has traveled to an eastern city near the front line with Russia, while 2 more strategic sites inside Russia have reportedly been hit by drone attacks. Watching Wall Street ahead of this morning's opening bell, the Dow futures are down 71 points, NASDAQ futures off 4. More on these stories, townhall.com.
Relief Factor, pain relief that's natural, pain relief that works, and pain relief that attacks the source of the pain. That's the experience of tens of thousands of Americans who are taking Relief Factor right now. See their incredible video endorsements at relieffactor.com and then order your 3-week quick starter pack for just $19.95. That's less than $1 a day. Find out if it can work for you like it works for me by ordering your 3-week quick starter pack today. relieffactor.com, relieffactor.com. Be the next success story.
Hi, my name's Adam Barada. I'm the owner of Advantage Gold, the highest rated precious metals firm in the country. Now, we've won the Best of TrustLink Award 4 years in a row because we educate our clients on how to buy gold and silver the right way. We don't pay celebrity spokespeople millions of dollars. We'd rather pass that value on to you. Call 800-900-8000 and speak with one of our experts. We'll send you a free gold kit along with my latest national best-selling book, The Great Devaluation. Call 800-900-8000. Call 800-900-8000.
North Korea has fired a series of artillery rounds into the waters near rival South Korea.
The barrage is the 2nd in consecutive days in a tit-for-tat for the South's live fire drills. South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff says it detected the North firing around 90 artillery rounds from a frontline area along its eastern coast. The shells, likely from multiple rocket launchers, landing in the northern side of a maritime buffer zone established in 2018 to reduce border tensions. I'm Charles Diladesma.
China's defense ministry says the country strictly adheres to a policy of no first use of nuclear weapons at any time under any circumstances. That pledge comes in a scathing response to a U.S. report on a major buildup of Beijing's nuclear capabilities. News and analysis, townhall.com. The U.S. and the European Union agreeing to intensify talks to resolve EU concerns over major subsidies for American companies included in a new law.
Although no deal was reached on talks on Monday, the two sides pledged to continue work and push for a solution that benefits both U.S. and European firms, workers, and consumers. The U.S. Inflation Reduction Act offers about $375 billion in new and extended tax credits to help the U.S. clean energy industry, as well as buyers of qualifying electric vehicles made in North America. But European leaders have expressed alarm that the subsidies would be an enormous setback for European companies. Jeremy House, Washington.
Georgia voters today deciding the final outstanding U.S. Senate contest from the recent midterms. They're choosing between Democrat incumbent Raphael Warnock and Republican Herschel Walker. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The traveler said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Tuesday, everybody. It's not Monday, not Friday. It's Tuesday. And it's better than Monday. So happy Tuesday, everybody. By the way, I don't brag very often, but in my fantasy football, I'm first place. The last 3 weeks, I've beaten the top 3 teams. And now I'm in first place. I'm pretty happy. And it's a week before playoffs. I got one more week and then playoffs. So if I don't screw up this week, I'm going in at the 1 seed. And I'm pretty good. Just saying.
You're on a bit of a roll?
I got some skills.
Do said skills pay the bills?
No.
No, they don't. They painfully do not.
Absolutely not. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I'm
good.
I beat the first place team last week, and I beat the second place team this week.
Is this the league you're in with T-Bird?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
And the first place team lost last night, and so I am now in sole possession of first place, having beaten all the top teams. No one can say anything to me because I've beaten them. Now, playoffs, I could completely just... take a nosedive first round. But for today, I'm tops.
Wow. Well, he's really not going to be happy then, realizing after that he's not in first place anymore, and he is going to have to pay for my lunch today.
Yeah, he's down to like 4th place. T-Beard.
Poor fella.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Rough world for him.
It is.
He may have won over the weekend. I don't know. It doesn't matter. He's irrelevant. He's like 4 places down from me.
He didn't count. He ain't first, so he's last.
That's right. If they ain't first, you're last. What do you mean? There's second, third, fourth, not bad.
I got 2. Best movies of all time.
It is. But happy Tuesday. Welcome to it. I'm almost have my voice back.
Yeah.
I even made an ad this morning. I don't know if it's going to fly, but I made it, and we'll see what happens.
Every like thing that I've been doing is like a self-evaluation. Like I'll swallow food to see if it still hurts, or just see if I can breathe through my nose for a few minutes. It's just little self-checks along the way. I'm getting close.
I think I still have my my normal routine of the last 2 weeks here of getting up, taking a shower, and just completely grossing everybody in the household, trying to, clear out.
Get it all out. I understand.
But
shower's the best place to do it. There's a drain right there.
That's right. So, but anyway, yeah, I think I'm a day or two away from being full on normal.
Nice
for me. Normal. Normal. It's
Trust me, it's a dark realm for everyone else, but for us, it's fine.
It's fine.
We've embraced the darkness. It's okay.
That's right. So, but it's another warm day.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be back in the 70s again today, but tomorrow will drop just a smidge, and they're saying there's a rain chance tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what happens with that. But be kind of nice, get a little moisture. Yeah. So we'll get you update with the weather here in just a little bit.
We've had a series of just perfect evenings.
Yeah, it's been nice.
Last few evenings.
Been kind of nice.
Perfect weather to kind of get out, to check out things. I took the kids to check out the Christmas lights last night. We came home and made Christmas cookies. It was a whole thing. We're trying to build some new traditions, but
good deal.
Yeah, it was fun.
But you still got a whole other
perfect
few weeks of Christmas stuff you got to do.
I know.
Start now.
Well, see, that's the thing is, I remember like the build up for me was always the best part.
Yeah,
like it wasn't like the day was cool and everything, but the build up to all the things that we did, like the watching different specials.
Yeah,
like that's the next thing I'm really excited about. Is I want to show. I've already showed Rhiannon a couple of the specials I grew up with. I want to show her a few more, like Merry Christmas, Charlie Brown, all those.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Good deal. Yeah, you got to have the Charlie Brown Christmas tree.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can't. If you don't know what that is, then you're missing part of Christmas.
What's funny is
you gotta go watch that.
They sell that Christmas tree like you can get it commercially, and it's not cheap. It's like $30 or like $40 for a.
Is it a nice
version.
Tree or is it?
No,
is
it's
it the
literally the sad tree.
The one branch with the.
Yeah, with the one thing, and then the X board. Yeah, it's kind of funny that it's almost like a dupe that they're like, we know we're going to make a version of this we're going to sell.
Yeah.
And we're going to charge a premium price for it.
Well, some people have to pull out their leg lamp and their Charlie Brown Christmas tree.
Of course.
Whatever. Their model of the Nakatomi Tower, whatever it is they do.
The man that owns the building right next door is a massive fan of Christmas Story. He has like 5 of those lamps.
Really?
Yeah. It's a big deal for him.
Okay.
He has a series of Christmas Story shot glasses, drink glass, like a whole line of all the commemorative.
Wow. I wonder if I could impress him by saying I've met Zach Ward and I'm friends with him on Facebook.
Shoot your shot, man. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
I don't even follow him on Twitter. I'm a Facebook friend.
Oh, dang.
That's deeper.
Mm-hmm. That goes very deep. You put it out there, and he accepted.
Yeah. I'm going to do the old doc. Yeah, I know the bully from Christmas Story. Yeah.
Not to boast or anything, but I don't want to be a name dropper. I know the guy that knew the guy that was the cameraman on the set of Die Hard.
So there you go. Which makes me royalty.
That's right.
But yeah, so he's a nice guy, by the way. But yeah, years ago he was in town, and we were nice to each other. So he followed me, he took my friend's request.
You're just like at an airport in Tacoma one day. You're like, Mike Winters. Ned Ryerson,
Scott
Farkas.
Oh man, but yeah, I wonder what your big Christmas Story fan thinks of this reboot, or sequel, or whatever you want to call it.
I'd be curious to find out. I still need to check it out myself.
I enjoyed it. Mm-hmm. If you like A Christmas Story and go in with it with the mind, it's the same. It gives you the same feels in just a different way.
A lot of people will automatically poo-poo a reboot or a rehash or
is
whatever.
It corny? Is it cheesy? Sure, but as much as A Christmas Story,
right?
It's the same model,
which I'd be down with. Yeah. I actually watched a thing on YouTube. It was basically the making of, or not the making of, but kind of like the build up to A Christmas Story, like 10 things you didn't know about it.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things I knew this for a long time is the story itself comes from a book that was written as a collection of stories, originally submitted and published in Playboy magazine.
Oh, nice.
So
see,
We wouldn't have had some kid sticking his tongue to a pole had it not been for, Marilyn Monroe showing off her cans.
There is a very, very small percentage of men that weren't lying when they say they bought Playboy for the articles.
We love the articles. I'll be honest; those were some great articles. G. Gordon Liddy used to write for Playboy.
Oh yeah,
I mean, those were some thoughtful articles.
Well, they used to have stuff that the man would enjoy, stereo equipment, the latest in Wi-Fi, and they would get a little, a few political articles,
biting political commentary.
Yeah, well. You got to have a little variety in your life.
I think that if Playboy was still going strong the way it does today with the articles, they'd probably have a scathing review of all things Yeezus.
Well, I don't even think they have nudes in them anymore, do they?
They didn't for a long time, but from what I understood, it led to a drop in readership. Shocker.
Surprise.
And so they brought back the nudes.
Oh, okay. Good.
Tasteful nudes, from what I've gathered.
Seen or bought one in 30 years, so I have no idea.
I'm blown away that there's still print versions of stuff like that.
I guess. I mean, everyone's got their thing.
Listen, I like naked ladies, all right, but I'm a bit of a purist.
So go get one and read it. See if you can see the next article.
Find the next G. Gordon Liddy. There it is.
I enjoyed the comics. I always like the funny page where people submit jokes and you get to read the jokes.
I only came for the boobies.
Yeah, I read jokes. I like the jokes.
I was young.
Let me give you the rundown for today's show. Here in just a few minutes, Robert Sherman with the Walker Aviation Museum will join us here. Give us an update on what's happening there. Don't have a guest scheduled for the 8 o'clock hour, so we're going to replay our interview we had yesterday. Regina Smith, nurse practitioner, general medicine, joined us from Loveless Hospital talking about flu and RSV and COVID and 'tis the season and all that. So we had a great conversation with her. And then in 9 o'clock hour, Larry Martin with the Midday Lions, wearing his Midday Lions hat, not his Literacy Council hat, going to join us, give us an update on what they've got coming up. They've got some things happening here. He wants to get on our radar, so we'll do that about 9:15 or so. Plus, we'll have all of your other features that include the news of the local variety, the national variety news, your Wall Street business update, whatever else we can come up with for today's show. Before we do anything else, let's go ahead and take a look at the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Should be pretty nice today. We're expecting low 70s with high pressure over our area. We should get plenty of sunshine. Turning cloudy overnight, we'll drop into the low to mid 40s, and then tomorrow mostly sunny, and we're back up to about 70. Little system rolling in on Wednesday night with a few showers, and then sunny and a little bit cooler on Thursday. Our afternoon high in the low 60s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 43 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 86%. Winds currently out of the north at 3 miles per hour. Sunny today. Expect a high near 70 degrees. Winds will be out of the southwest 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sounds like a pretty nice day today. For tonight, mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 42. Winds will be out of the west 5 to 10 miles per hour. Wednesday, partly cloudy, 65 for a high. West winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. We do have a 20% chance at rain showers tomorrow night, mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 41. Winds out of the south, 5 to 10. Thursday, sunny, 63 for a high. Winds will be out of the northwest at around 10 miles per hour. Friday, mostly sunny, highs near 60. And then glancing at the weekend for Saturday, we're looking at mostly sunny skies, 63 for a high. Sunny on Sunday as well, highs around 64. So looking like a week of 60s for the most part, with the exception of today where we'll hit the 70-degree mark. All right, it is 18 minutes after 7. We're going to take a 4-minute commercial break, and then Robert Sherman with the Walker Aviation Museum will join us on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. 2,355 head of cattle sold on Monday on a steady to higher market with excellent buyer attendance compared to last week. Stocker calves sold 10 to 15 higher, feeder cattle steady. Packer cows and bulls so steady. 3 to 400 pound steers 246, 264. 3 to 400 pound heifers 184, 208. 4 to 500 pound steers 208, 246. 4 to 500 pound heifers 174, 184. 5 to 600 pound steers 171, 208. 5 to 600 pound heifers 163, 174. 6 700 pound steers 159, 171. 6 to 700 pound heifers 146, 50, 163. 7 800 pound steers 145 and a half, 159. 7 800 pound heifers 139, 146, 50. Packer cows 70 to 77. Canner and cutter cows 60 to 68. Packer bulls, feeder bulls, and the cow-calf pairs not well tested this week. Top half the bred cows $1,100 to $1,400 per head. We do appreciate the business, and we'll talk to you next Monday morning. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
Make your home a smart home with smart home Wi-Fi from Plateau. Now you can connect more devices to fast, reliable Wi-Fi throughout your home. That means faster speeds with no downtime or lag. Enhance your connection, expand your reach, and experience whole home device control and protection with Plateau. Plateau offers true fiber with options starting as low as $60 a month, all with no caps and no hidden fees. Call today 575-755-1000 or stop by 1001 South Main in Roswell. Get smart home Wi-Fi today from Plateau. Tried, true, trusted.
There is no health without mental health. Staying on top of your emotional wellness is the same as taking care of your physical health. How we feel mentally directly influences our physical health. Together, we can take a dose of wellness to make our personal well-being a priority. Visit doseofwellness.com and find out how to handle the ups and downs of life. Brought to you by the New Mexico Human Services Department.
The 2022 basketball season is underway for your Roswell Coyotes and Goddard Rockets, and the place to go to catch all of it is KSVPTV.com.
Goddard, a little pressure here in the half court, and they force the turnover. Great job.
Head for KSVPTV.com and click on the Roswell Coyotes or Goddard Rockets tab to see it all. KSVPTV.com, Southeastern New Mexico's sports authority, then, now, and always.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Linen can absorb up to 20 times its weight in moisture before it feels damp. Now, you don't have to get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom anymore. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 21 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from the Walker Aviation Museum, Robert Sherman back with us. Morning, sir. How you doing today?
I'm okay. Hanging in there.
Doing good. How was your Thanksgiving?
It was good.
Good. Did y'all go out of town or just have a little thing
Went
here
across
with
the street with some neighbors.
Wow. So quite the trek.
Yeah. I got a neighbor that's a great neighbor, and he enjoys cooking, so we took the drinks over, all kinds of different iced teas and fruit juices for the kids. And
made a little celebration there.
Yeah.
So, well, that'd be nice.
We had a good time.
Yeah, was there enough to take home a few leftovers?
Yes.
Good. That's the important part.
Yeah.
So. Very good. Well, for folks that aren't familiar, the Walker Aviation Museum, which is located in the air terminal at the airport there, is a museum that dedicates itself to exposing the history of the Air Force Base. They call that area home, Roswell Army Airfield, and then Walker Air Force Base. Also covers our role in the Cold War era. The missile silos that littered this part of the country during the Cold War era. They also share the history of that too. So it's really cool. So hopefully folks have seen it at least once or twice. But if you haven't, I invite you to go check it out sometime. So
yeah, we are right now, just like we have for the last month or two, try to be open Monday through Saturday for about 2.5 hours at least prior to the midday plane departure.
Gotcha.
Right now it's departing around 10 minutes till 1 in the afternoon, so we're open about 11:30 or so.
Okay.
Until about 2 o'clock.
Okay.
And but so we get the people that are coming in from Dallas that are returning. Once the plane lands, about 30 minutes. By that time, the people that are getting ready to depart are already checked through TSA and they're waiting to board the aircraft.
Mm-hmm.
So we get that group initially, and then the last few minutes before that we're open, until the whole terminal clears out.
Right.
There's no reason to stay open at that time. But we do that. So we have several things that be interesting. We want to talk about today. Had some improvements made to the museum.
Oh yeah.
And we also Juliana Halverson, better known by us as the Energizer Bunny. She
city councilor.
She put city councilor, all kinds of stuff. IT marketing person for us. Anyway, she put a lot of stuff on our website. So I want to let people know they have really good access just by going to wafbmuseum.org.
Very good.
And clicking on education.
Okay.
And if you do it on the cell phone, the picture is a little bit different on your smartphone than it is on a big computer.
They lay it out a little different.
But you can get there and you open up your cell phone and you got these little bars up at the top and right corner, I think, and you click on that and you get a choice of education, so you can click on that.
Okay. So the menu's a little different on the mobile version than if you go on a laptop or computer or whatever.
And we recently sent out, and I'll talk about that, some emails to lots of different educational folks in town. First email went out to about, it was 26 different addresses. The 7 principals of the 4 middle schools here in town, and as far as the Roswell Independent School District, and then 19 counselors that are involved with the schools, Roswell Independent School District. So we sent out this email that had an attachment of about 21 pages of reference stuff that we sometimes pass out to the teachers or pass out to the students when they come visit us for a 3-hour flight simulator career orientation program that we have. But now that is all on the website.
Okay.
And we are encouraging people just to use that information any way they want to, and that's why we sent it out to the schools. And not only did we send that to Roswell Independent School District, then on Saturday, the 3rd of December, I sent out an email that went out to Sidney Gutierrez Middle School, Gateway Middle School and High School, Emmanuel Lutheran Middle School, New Mexico Youth Challenge, NIMI Dean of Academics, Roswell Assurance Home, Hagerman Middle School and High School, Dexter Middle School and High School, and the Superintendent of Schools in Artesia.
Oh, wow.
So they got all that information. But along with that, we said, hey, okay, this is good information here. You can pass this on, print it out, use it any way you want to help you do your job. Because if you're a counselor working with the kids, you might be able to say, hey, I'll take a little bit of this and add some of my stuff and kind of enhance what I was giving them or talking to them about.
Create more for their lesson. Yeah.
So,
and who knows, maybe they'll even want to set up a field trip or two to have a class come out.
The other thing is talking about what we have, because we do have those 2 flight simulators, and having 2 and being in a fairly small location, that's why we are kind of limited in numbers.
Sure.
Because we can't effectively, handle 30 kids coming in there. We can handle 8, and we could occasionally handle 12.
Gotcha.
But
even
sometimes
bigger than that,
they've done that in the past where they'll bring out, say, 24 kids, and half of them will go over to the university and look at the nursing program or whatever, some other stuff, while half of them come to see us for 2.5 hours, and then they flip-flop.
I like that.
One time, Brendel Middle School, I believe, did that, and they met halfway through and had sack lunches out on the front, out in the grass and stuff, and then they kind of like, okay, this group jump in the bus and go. We're going to go over to the university, and the other group come on in, and we'll.
It's perfect.
Do our little thing.
I think there should be more of those.
Yeah.
I think every week they should have one of those going on. That'd be great.
Okay, so then this thing on the wafbmuseum.org, you can click on education.
Okay.
And then that will list all these information. What right now we've got is the YouTubes. You can't click on the title and it won't come up on the YouTube right now. However, when you get to the one page that has 38 videos of 12 hours of professional pilot training, you can click on those and it'll come right up and start playing that particular sequence, whether it's flight instruments or flight weather or whatever the subject is on that. And then we had a 3-page thing that we got off a website. It's called 331 STEM careers. And you can click on those and the student, it'll expand that particular subject to a full page of stuff and several things you can go to.
Okay.
It goes into great detail, and that's based off of a website that we found that, and Juliana's got that set up. So when you find that, now when I say when you find that, I initially had a problem finding it, and then she kind of had to squirm it away on how to find it. But you have to, if you open up on the computer, there's usually on the right-hand side after you click education, there's 3 color photos of Bob Donnell mostly and myself. I think you get the back of my head on that. But working with the kids on their flight simulators. And right above that is a little section that you can click on, and it talks about STEM. So you click on that little box, and then you get all that stuff pops up.
Nice. Good deal. So of course, teachers, STEM want to check it out, but really anybody that's got a hankering to want to learn some of this stuff, go to the www.wafbmuseum.org and then click on that education tab and check out some of these videos and all the stuff.
So then right there at the top on the right-hand side above those photos would be a block, another block that says comprehensive list of STEM jobs.
Okay.
And that's the one you click on. If you have your smartphone like I was using and I couldn't find it, you have to scroll all the way down to the bottom of all that data that we put there, and at the very end, the bottom of the smartphone are those photos with that block of comprehensive list of STEM jobs. So
okay.
That's where you find that.
So it's just a little different depending on which
arrangement, the way it
you use
pops
a
up on your computer. Right.
Good deal. But either way, it's all there. Come check it out when you get a chance, or if you're looking to, help inspire your kid to find some interest, maybe they'll find some through those videos.
And one of the things we have in there, and I know there's going to be people out there, that's why I put on here a partial list. It's as we passed out, it's 13 pages of STEM jobs in the Roswell area. And over a period of many days of going through 3 phone books, I found those and I just typed them up. So if you're a young student or somebody living in Roswell and thinking, well, what's there to do in Roswell? Well, there's 13 pages of STEM jobs.
Got enough for you?
STEM-oriented type jobs that you can find in the Roswell area. And now Artesia could add theirs, but I didn't go into Artesia stuff.
Maybe next time.
Yeah.
But there's plenty in the region. That's
plenty of jobs in the region, just to kind of give you an idea of what's out there. So,
well, shoot. So let's face it, New Mexico's home to one of the most advanced places in the country, Los Alamos.
Yeah.
If you're looking to stay in the state of New Mexico, tech is kind of we do have the space. What is it? The Virgin Galactic Space, whatever one out in Tier C.
Right.
We got New Mexico's middle of nowhere desert, but a lot of technology taking place here too. So.
Yeah, I was just finished reading a couple books. One was, and I recommended to the audience out there, if you're interested at all in World War II, Countdown 1945. That was with Chris Wallace. It was a #1 bestseller. It just came out. It was copyrighted 2020. And that is really easy to read book. Bob Donnell read it and said, this is one of the best books I've ever read. So I ordered it the same day and came in, and sure enough, it was really good. And I just loaned it to my barber because he reads a lot of books. Dwayne up there north, just on the north side of Office Max.
And anyway, the book's called 1945.
Countdown 1945.
Okay.
And it starts out like 116 days, blah, blah, blah. Then it goes down, like 92 days. It starts out the first page is when Truman finds out that Roosevelt died.
Gotcha.
And he got a call to the White House. He goes, I guess what's that meeting? I only had 2 meetings with him since I came into, he came into office several months ago. And
that's what
he finds out I'm not having a meeting with him. I'm now the president of the United States,
And then shortly thereafter, he learns about the Manhattan Project.
Yeah, he learns about that. Yeah. And he talks about all the serious decision-making going into whether or not to use the atomic bomb or not.
Mm-hmm.
And the trade-off of, doing that. It was already pretty tough on the Japanese as far as the firebombing and stuff, but realizing how many casualties the Americans would suffer and how many casualties the Japanese would suffer over a period of an invasion of the homeland of Japan. So
well, and we knew that Japan, they've got a kind of a never surrender, never quit mentality.
I
which
know.
means
they were training the kids.
Yeah.
With sharp, long sticks to.
Yeah.
I mean, they were just training everybody to fight to the end.
And I know this doesn't sound right, but because of the decisions made by Truman to drop those 2 atom bombs, it saved thousands of lives.
Yeah.
I know it's hard to kind of wrap your head around that,
but you get from this book, it wasn't easy for Truman and for even other people. And a lot of the scientists had a lot of concerns about it.
Sure. Yeah, there was this was a big, I've read enough of that area to know that it was a lot of thought and, decision making before they ultimately did what they did. It wasn't just something all right, let's light them up. It was a lot of thought and, studying the consequences and everything else.
Yeah, I'm just kind of finishing up the last few pages of the Enola Gay, which is a book. This particular one was copyrighted back in 1977, but it's also very interesting in some of the details and stuff going on with that. So.
I always wonder, because there's probably several different books on the Enola Gay and the crew and things, and I wonder if as they get newer, do they get more information, or is it rehashing a lot of the same info, or
just rearranging the way they present it.
Well, I imagine is I don't know if there's anybody still alive that's left from that era, but I imagine there's a few as they get closer to end of life. They're sharing
there's a few, but
sharing some details and things that they didn't share previously. So
speaking of the museum, thanks to Bob Donnell's idea, and he said we have on the south wall of our museum there, and again, we're located in the air terminal about 50 feet north of the TSA check-in area.
Yes.
So we're right there, and right there close to the little food court.
You can't miss if you go through the main entrance, which is the middle.
Yeah.
You can't miss it.
We're
But
right
if you
on
come from either end, you got to kind of walk towards the middle there.
That's right. Yeah. But anyway, Bob, we have that reinforced concrete on the south wall, and trying to hang a picture with reinforced concrete is kind of tough. Anyway,
I understand. You should see this wall right here.
Yeah,
used to be the exterior wall of the J.P. White building. This is a red brick wall, and we found that out when we tried to drill in to hang these TVs. And it was not easy.
So what?
That's how we found out.
So out of the good graces of Steve Griffin, who, by the way, Steve had donated and mounted a whole bunch of professional weather equipment we have in there, because he was a long time in the military Navy weather guy, but he has a lot of the professional weather equipment there, and with a lot of little signs that describe what it is and stuff. But anyway, Steve came in, and Jim Williams, and they had a little gun. They used an actual .22 caliber bullet to fire nails into the reinforced concrete.
Wow!
So we let the TSA and the security folks know that if you hear some gunshots going off, don't call. Shots fired, and whatever. But
nothing to alarm you here.
So anyway, they got a nice frame put up, and we got 5 4x8 pegboards, and we mounted that on that wall.
Oh wow!
Now we can just with little hooks, we can move pictures around all the way we want to. And we got a nice print that's signed by Tibbetts, the pilot of the Enola Gay. Enola Gay was his mother's name.
Mm-hmm.
But and right underneath that is the actual navigator's log of the Hiroshima mission.
Oh wow!
So if you're some guy comes in, he's a former navigator, go, oh, look at that, And then we've got another thing that Bob Donnell just got framed. That's a weather picture. They were going to fly some, I think it was B-29s leaving Roswell in 47, and they were going to fly over New York City, Washington, D.C. and stuff, and then fly back.
Okay.
But it has this drawing all the way across of leaving Roswell and what all the high weather clouds, all the drawings of the weather and stuff, of kind of like, oh, that's how they did that. It showed that, okay, when you get over Kansas City, this is what the clouds are going to be like, So anyway.
I wonder how accurate those were.
I don't know.
Like, how many of those did they actually could follow and it would make sense? Or
I don't know.
It was wrong there. No, it ain't right there either. So.
No, they got these clouds and they're over here. That's true. So anyway, we've got some of that stuff mounted. We got a lot of new pictures kind of hung up there. So it's still nicer. And again, thanks to Steve Griffin and Jim
pretty
Williams
cool
coming out
pieces
there
of history there
doing-
that are
making
now
a-
on display.
Yeah, and Jenna, the land for the facility manager out there, she was happy with what we put up, and we put trim on it and everything, made it look really professional. So
cool.
They did a great job.
So next time you're out, you can please take a visit for that. If you're going out for lunch or got a flight or something, check those out while you're out there.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
good deal. Excellent. What else we got?
I talked to our old former president, Brigadier General Doug Murray. He reminded me, and I kind of like, you're right. But he said, I want to remain a member of the board, but I'm in absentia. He's living now in Colorado Springs.
Yeah, I knew he moved after retired. He moved out of the area.
And he was telling me this great story he had. He said a gentleman that lived about 2 doors down from him just passed away. He was 98 years old, but he said he wasn't using a walker, really sharp guy, talking to him, and he came in the Air Force in 1940 and got out in 1971.
Oh, wow.
And he flew the B-17, B-29, B-36, and B-52s.
Wow.
And then later on in his career, he ended up being selected to go and help oversee the Minuteman missile program.
Oh, wow.
So he was.
So he did a lot in his 30 years
of. How he ended up as a brigadier general, retired, but himself, and he was talking about various things about Walker. And I was at Walker. So he was at Walker, and he said, "Well, I used to, be the dean of academics at NIMI," and he says, "Oh, my son graduated from NIMI," and blah blah blah. And his son was there. He met him.
Small world, huh?
Small world, yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's
anyway,
pretty neat.
So anyway, and he just sent us a nice check. He's sending us a check to help, keep,
So he's still
keep the
supporting
doors open. Yeah,
He's still supporting it from his home in Colorado.
a couple $1,000. So that was great.
Yeah, that's very nice of him, and just shows his, why he's well admired, and why. Well, to be honest, his leadership is part of the reason we have the Walker Aviation Museum still today.
And one of the reasons that we get to pay the rent, I don't have Jenna Lanford banging on my door saying, "Where's the money? Where's the money?" Just thanks to Pioneer Bank.
You got the super off your back.
Yeah, Pioneer Bank, Featherstone Development Corporation, Glenn Furniture's giving us some tables and stuff. 6 Bomb Wing Reunion Group, David Petroleum Company, and now Brigadier General Murray. And last year, and we're still working on stuff, Roswell Toyota and XL Energy and Aircell and other individual doctors and stuff in town have really been generous. So we really appreciate.
And if you'd like to support the Walker Aviation Museum, there's always if you go to the website wafbmuseum.org, you'll find a donate now there and ways to contribute that way. If you want to serve in a more physical capacity, like serve on the board, or maybe even volunteer to be a docent from time to time, or help out that way, you'll find the information to reach out and who to talk to there at the website as well. But I know always looking for some fresh faces to come and come be a part of the continuing of growing and nurturing the museum there. So.
Speaking of fresh faces, but I don't know if I'd exactly describe him as fresh face.
Fresh-ish.
It's Ted Smith. He was in here.
Right? Oh, yeah, Ted's a great guy.
Yeah, Ted will probably, he may be in here next month, my place, but he is a walking Energizer bunny when it comes to history of military.
He loves it.
Oh, man, he loves that. He just kind of lives that. So right now, he's doing most of the volunteering out at the museum, that 2.5 hours, but I'm usually out there on Friday and Saturdays and other time during the week. And then Bob Donnell's out there a day or 2 or 3. And we try to meet out there, all 3 of us, at least one day a week so we can kind of get our notes together.
Sure.
But so he's out there and he's deeply involved right now on working a lot of the history of Walker Air Force Base, Roswell Army Airfield, whatever. And the missions that were assigned here, the aircraft that were assigned here. He's going through right now all the accidents and the aircraft and all kinds of stuff. Like,
cool.
How did that end up here? So he's really trying to get in and hopefully get that organized where we can put it out so that people can kind of get a snapshot picture of really what went on, especially back in the World War II period when Walker was training. He ended up, during that period, trained about 14,000 advanced pilot training with a double 2-engine aircraft and the bombardiers.
Oh, wow.
So that's why we have a few concrete bombs laying around that were dropped, people found around on the ranches.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's
those
what...
inert, I dealt a lot with those back in my days in the military.
Yeah, okay.
I was a bomb loader. I dealt with those concrete things a lot. So I touched them all the time. We used to make fun of the guys that made them.
Speaking of that, if you read these books on the Enola Gay and this other one, these guys in 509th, they came out of Wendover, Utah. And a lot of people felt like, I thought the people and the planes that dropped the bombs on, Hiroshima and Nagasaki, Kokura was the primary target, but ended up being Nagasaki. But they came out of Wendover, and from Wendover to Tinian. And then when the war was over, the aircraft returned after the training was stopped here in Roswell and came back here, and this became a bomber base.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like, those planes came from Roswell. No, they returned to Roswell, but they initially came out of Wendover, Utah.
Sure.
And then from there to Tinian.
A lot have been here, but didn't live here.
And there's a lot of last-minute fighting going on, and these books will expand on that. General LeMay, everybody knows who General LeMay was in SAC and stuff later on, but he was kind of convinced, as well as other people, that the atomic bomb should be dropped by the people that were already there in Tinian, not the 509th that came out of Wendover. And those planes were hand-picked by Tibbets at the factory, and then at that point they were turned into what they call the silver plate aircraft. And he found out that when he was doing some testing that they were trying to maneuver, and he would go up against a bunch of P-47 fighters, and those fighters could out-maneuver him and stuff, but when they took 7,000 pounds of all the guns and ammunition out except for the tail gunner, that the plane could get up above 30,000 feet, and at that altitude, he could outmaneuver the P-47 fighters.
Oh, wow.
So they decided to be safer. They're just going ahead and fly and try to drop the bombs above 30,000 feet. Now, also, if they're trying to drop the atomic bomb and it was set to go off at 1,860 feet above the ground, they would make a hard turn and pull a few G's on the aircraft. But anyway, they would try to get out of the way, and they needed to be at least 9 miles away before the bomb went off at almost 2,000 feet above the ground.
Okay.
So because of the shock, they didn't know for sure what that was going to happen. The one in Hiroshima, that particular type and design of atomic bomb had never been tested. The one in Nagasaki was the same one tested north of Alamogordo out in the desert.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So
they were literally flying blind on that one. It was like, hopefully these numbers will compute, and if not, I guess we're crispy critters.
So Tibbets was really fighting kind of with the folks there, and then they wanted to go ahead and get that finalized. So he took the operations officer up in the aircraft, and they went through a mission where they dropped the bomb and made the hard turns, and he was back there kind of pulling G's and like, holy crap. Holy Toledo.
Yeah.
But this was a bad situation. So he said, okay, because General LeMay said, go ahead and get on the airplane and just go on a test flight with him and you'll see. And because LeMay wasn't totally convinced either. And when he came back, he said, definitely let Tibbets and the 509th take care of this mission.
Got it.
So
they kind of had to prove their point to the brass and did so.
Yeah.
Interesting. I know just bomber-related stuff. It was, since we're talking that history, they, like you said, they released to the public the B-21 Raider just here over the weekend. And, of course, that Raider is named after the Doolittle Raiders, if for folks that aren't familiar. After Pearl
I missed
Harbor.
that on the news because I heard something about Doolittle. I said, what's that have to do with that?
It's the plane is named after the Doolittle Raiders.
Yeah,
that's what it's all named after, which they basically got and took off on bombers from aircraft carriers and stripped down for one run over Tokyo, and it was quite an amazing little feat that they pulled off. But anyway, it was all World War II history, kind of in that same era, which you're talking about with the bomb here. So.
Now, the reason I kind of brought up that one story about the operations officer there at Tinian getting on that airplane and and Tibbetts taking him up. That gentleman's name was Colonel William Butch Blanchard.
Okay.
He was the same one that was here at Walker as the wing commander when the 1947 incident occurred.
Ah, okay.
And he's the first one that said, oh, that was a flying disc or something. So that's the connection to Roswell and to Walker.
Nice.
Because after that was over with, at Tinian, he came back here as like if you couldn't defeat him when you were fighting him off at Tinian, he came back here to become the wing commander of the 509.
Gotcha.
So anyway, it was
pretty cool.
Kind of an interesting connection there.
Yeah, it is. It is. So please, if you'd like to learn more about this stuff, love talking, and come out to the museum. That's the great thing too, is all three of you guys will sit and talk, stories about that stuff.
Yeah.
With people while they're there, if they're asking questions about, some of the World War II roles and things. All three of you guys will love to sit down and talk that stuff with folks too.
Yeah,
so.
Ted was in several things with CE, with other stuff. He was in intelligence and all kinds of stuff. He started talking about tanks, and he studied Army intelligence on how to deal with Russian tanks and or whatever.
He did a lot of things.
He knows all kinds of stuff.
He did a lot of things that some of us circles didn't get to be.
Every time he starts talking, I just start taking notes like, oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's a very interesting guy, and to be honest, it's great for him too. Because, Because I don't want to get too personal with him, but he's dealing with some issues from his time in the military.
That's right.
And things.
No, he is.
And by him doing this stuff, it's very helpful to him. So,
I say thanks, Ted, for coming out and doing it. He says, no, thank you.
Yeah, Ted.
Because he said, I really enjoy coming out here.
It really gives Ted, he loves this stuff, and it gets him a sense of purpose. And so, please, when you're out there and you see Ted, talk to him, reach out. He'd love to tell you stories and give you some information about that. It's his passion, and you'll love it, and you're doing him a favor too. So please ask him that stuff. Loves that stuff.
So anyway, I guess basically WFBmuseum.org. Check that out. The education blocks. Also, there's a click on history. You go in and show you a bunch of different history and different organizations.
Yeah,
there.
And if you got a youth group or something, like you said, usually about 9 to 12 kids is probably we can. If it's bigger, we'll figure something out. But if you're interested in setting up something like that, reach out to the museum. Love to have that opportunity happen. If you've got a group of youth or anybody that's want to learn more about STEM or history or any of that kind of stuff. So.
Yeah, because part of our program when they come out and see us, we show them how to make a Venn diagram, and then careers in aviation, and Roswell Aviation Maintenance Technician Program with Eastern New Mexico University, that, and a day in the life of a wind turbine engineer, Crumlin Auto Group and the Auto Mechanic Program, energy engine careers, and oil well worker careers. What does a registered nurse do? And then some three U.S. Air Force recruiting videos, aerospace ground equipment, air traffic control, and electronic principles, and geospatial intelligence. And then the last one we show is all the science STEM type jobs, and it's titled The Day in the Life at CIA.
Nice. So if you get a little bit of insight on, other things or not,
that's right,
related but not necessarily connected.
And you can find all those on the website, and you can look those up on YouTube. We'll get them eventually where you can click on them and it'll play right directly, but you can look them up and put them in the search for YouTube, and you can play those yourself.
Yep, WAFBmuseum.org
right
is the website. And come see the new...
oh, by the way, we got a new jacket.
Oh, cool.
Somebody sent us a baseball jacket. He was a farm team for the Chicago Cubs, I believe, as a pitcher.
Okay.
He was stationed here as I think he was a sergeant, staff sergeant. And he was a pitcher, and it's a jacket showing the Walker Bombers were the champions of the 8th Air Force tournament.
Oh, cool.
And it's a really beautiful blue jacket with a big giant patch on it that says 1954 Walker Bombers, championship thing.
Nice.
So
that's cool.
This guy, his dad had that jacket. And
I don't think there's too many of those laying around, I'm guessing.
I don't think so. And that draws in a few people that go, wow, where's that jacket come from?
Yeah, that's cool. So come see some of the new stuff. And
our new pegboard with all the pictures hanging on.
Yeah, check out the new digs. Like I said, they'll open about 11:30 this morning till about 11:30 till about 1 or
about
so.
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock here this afternoon.
About 2 o'clock.
So Yeah. Come on out, and then that's kind of the schedule there. So
Yes,
for
kind
now.
of the schedule right now.
Perfect. Well, as always, appreciate the visit, and we'll see you here next time. And if I don't see you before Christmas, have a Merry Christmas.
Yeah, same to you.
Hopefully, hopefully we'll see you then between.
Or maybe you'll see Ted. I don't know.
That's true too.
Well, that's not Ted. You're right.
Ted will be in January.
It'll be January 3rd. Yeah.
Yeah. So Merry Christmas to everybody. If I don't see you between now and then,
you too.
And come see the museum. Come check out this great treasure we have right here in our own backyard. So
that's right.
Good deal. We'll see you next time.
All right.
Thanks, Robert.
Thank you.
It is 7:54. Let's go ahead and take a quick break for news and a quick commercial break as well. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Now your Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Cirillo. Pavement maintenance work taking place today and Wednesday on East Reed Street between South Main Street and South Virginia Avenue in Roswell. And because of that, you'll need to be alert. Traffic will be limited during working hours on both days. Access, however, will be maintained for residents and businesses in the area, according to a statement from the city of Roswell. A Ruidoso man sentenced to life in prison for killing his 2-year-old son continues to claim his innocence. Ricardo Soto was convicted in October of intentional child abuse. He is appealing that conviction despite prosecutors claiming that he inflicted the boy's injuries and then fled to Mexico to avoid being captured. Soto's defense attorneys claim the child's fractures and ultimate death were actually caused by a pre-existing blood clot combined with a fall at his daycare center. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. Told you about boys basketball yesterday. How about some girls hoops over the weekend, where Goddard was part of the Artesia tournament? And on Friday, the Lady Rockets fell to El Paso Bel Air by a score of 51-37. Goddard bounced back to destroy Ruidoso 47-5 in the 7th place game. That's not going to tell you much about anything, but Goddard will have more tests in front of them. In fact, on Thursday at the Alice King tournament in Moriarty, the Goddard Rockets will take on Melrose at 3:30. Melrose is a small school, but they are 4-0, so this should be good. Hey, you got a boys-girls doubleheader going on tonight. It's Dexter playing at Hagerman with the girls game starting off the proceedings at 5:30. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bernie Bennett. In response to the new EU measures aimed at limiting Russian oil products, the Kremlin says that the $60 per barrel price cap will not affect its military operation in Ukraine. Correspondent Sarah Naffa has this report.
Eurasia analyst Chris Weafer tells the press at this price level, that outlook really doesn't change much.
What is key is how much volume Russia will be able to sell, and that depends not only on the willingness of Asian buyers to continue buying Russian oil, but also what is the physical ability of Russia to shift that oil.
Experts think Western nations are walking a fine line between trying to cut Russia's oil income and preventing a shortage that would cause a price spike and worsen inflation.
Tuesday marks the first ever U.S. auction for leases to develop commercial-scale floating wind farms in the deep waters off the West Coast. The live online auction for the 5 leases has attracted strong interest. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bernie Bennett in Washington.
This is the owner of Trustmark Roofing, and nothing makes us happier than telling our customers no. As in, no pricing games. We give you a guaranteed price, and then we stand by it. No surprises, no gotchas. No obscurity. We don't just tell you what's wrong with your roof. We record our inspections and show you. No lemons. We install premium roofing materials from top brands like Owens Corning. No shortcuts. We're in the 2% of roofers with the Owens Corning Preferred Contractor Certificate for our local area. This means we offer precision installation and the longest warranties. Want a beautiful new roof that's built to last? Choose Trustmark Roofing, the roofer that loves to tell our customers no. For an estimate, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
If a sports injury is keeping you from the physical activities you love, the sports medicine team at Artesia General Hospital can help. Their orthopedic specialists and physical therapists work closely with you throughout diagnosis and treatment. No matter the injury, from ACL injuries, golfers and tennis elbow to foot and ankle pain, they'll get you back in the game. Appointments are available in Artesia or Carlsbad. Request an appointment at artesiageneral.com/sports.
If you need a Kubota that works and plays hard, stop looking. You'll find everything you need at Amigo Machinery. When it comes to tough Kubota tractors, mowers, construction equipment, and utility vehicles, all with low-rate financing, Amigo Machinery is your one-stop shop. We are passionately committed to providing our customers with the highest quality products, most innovative solutions, and services delivered with integrity and professionalism. Stop by Amigo Machinery in Roswell or see us online at amigo-machinery.com.
On air and online, this is Roswell's home for talk radio, KEND Roswell.
And good morning, closing in on 8 o'clock. Town Hall News coming up next. Stay tuned next hour. We're going to replay our interview we had with Regina Smith from Loveless Hospital talking flu shots and flus and RSV and all that good stuff. So we'll play that conversation next hour. Don't go away.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. The final undecided U.S. Senate race of the recent midterms being decided today as voters in Georgia head to the polls.
Yesterday, Republican Walker and Democrat Warnock held rallies before today's runoff. Walker told voters what happens at the polls depends on how many voters show up at the polls.
Get your friends to vote. Call your friends to vote. This is so important. And I say this, if you don't have friends, what do you need to do? Make some friends and get them out to vote.
Incumbent Warnock displayed confidence, telling supporters, "We are going to win." And he said he doesn't mind giving his opponent credit where credit is due.
He was a great running back, and we getting ready to send him running back to Texas.
I'm Donna Warder.
Those responsible will be brought to justice. The pledge from North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper, referring to the vandal or vandals who shot up a couple of electric substations in Moore County over the weekend, cut power to tens of thousands of utility customers still in the dark.
What happened here Saturday night was a criminal attack, and federal, state, and local law enforcement are actively working to bring those responsible to justice.
The governor's remarks aired by WTVD. The Moore County Sheriff says those responsible clearly knew exactly what they were doing. A Memphis police officer is in the hospital in critical condition after being shot last night. The MPD says the officer was investigating a report of a suspicious vehicle when the shots rang out. Police say the suspected gunman was later shot and killed in an exchange of fire with other officers. Stocks in the red on Wall Street. The Dow is down 59 points, the Nasdaq off 108, the S&P 22 points lower. More on these stories, townhall.com.
Charlie Dombeck here from Key City Capital. As a practicing CPA for nearly 30 years, I have found that 80% of your ability to grow your wealth is dependent upon two factors: taxes and investment performance. At Key City Capital, we improve investment performance by diversifying capital into off-market investment opportunities in passive rental real estate and alternatives like asset-backed lending. We recover dollars that clients unnecessarily pay in the form of income taxes, creating a lifetime annuity of savings. We are a sponsor of passive, affordable single and multifamily residential rental investments, which are located in Sunbelt landlord-friendly states. These investments are the top choices in a rising interest rate and inflationary environment. They represent a store of value, protecting your capital from market volatility. Learn how we at Key City Capital can help you ultimately grow your wealth rapidly. Connect with me at keycitycapital.com or give me a call at 817-912-1569.
The late Chinese President Jiang Zemin has been eulogized by senior Communist Party officials, including current President Xi Jinping. But the passing of the 96-year-old was barely noticed by most of the general public, as the BBC's Stephen McDonald reports from Beijing.
In Shanghai, people were sounding their horns at the designated time. Now, remember, that was his power base. That's where he was faced for a long time. But in Beijing, nothing really. I think most people in the city didn't even seem to know what time the 3-minute period was when they were supposed to stop and pause, because the cross-section we were standing at, it was like completely normal life. I think that's not because people don't want to pay their respects. I just think most didn't know that that's when it was.
Jiang rose to power just ahead of the Army's bloody suppression of the 1989 pro-democracy movement centered on Beijing's Tiananmen Square. Townhall.com. This Confederate monument may not meet the same fate as so many others across the South.
A county board in Virginia is moving ahead with plans to deed the public land under a Confederate statue on the historic courthouse green to a private preservation group to prevent the statue from being taken down in the future. The Washington Post reports the Matthews County Board of Supervisors has called a special public hearing for Tuesday night. It was unclear whether a final vote is also planned for Tuesday. However, the board has already drafted a deed and voted to waive county subdivision rules to allow it to carve out a plot of public land under the statue. John Scott reporting.
NASA's Orion capsule on its way home from the moon to wrap up a 3-week test flight. The capsule and its test dummies came within 80 miles of the far side of the moon yesterday. Once emerging from behind the moon, the capsule flew over a couple of Apollo landing sites. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
Das Deuce.
Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Tuesday.
Da.
Welcome to it.
Da.
If he dies, he dies.
Da, da, da. A hot minute that song was like everywhere. Remember that Volkswagen commercial?
Mm-hmm.
It was like super, like every commercial, every channel was playing it.
Yep. Yeah.
It was the one song from that band. Hope they enjoyed it.
Well, there's a lot of bands that have those one song.
It's true. Dexy's Midnight Runners, I hope you enjoyed your run.
Wonder what the Foxes got.
Oh, Elvis?
Yeah.
I'm curious too. I think from what I've gathered, he was actually kind of big in his like home country, and then that song blew up, and so I'm pretty sure he's still got a couple of hits. Netherlands, where is? I'm not sure he's from.
Okay. Yeah. Good for him. He's living large on it.
If you've ever seen that, and if you haven't, I fully recommend you go back and watch it. The expertly crafted Will Ferrell vehicle known as Eurovision Song Contest.
I've seen the movie.
It's genius in its real lack of like changing much of anything from the Eurovision Song Contest itself. That thing is bat crap crazy.
Yeah.
The people that sing it in Eurovision are wackadoo. Some of the songs and the artists. And I mean, granted, they're big in their own genres, but it gets weird, dude.
So the movie was not really a comedy; it just showed what happened.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it amped it up a bit for hilarity's sake. But yeah, but the music that you hear in Eurovision Song Contest is very, very much closely. It's very spot on to what you're going to hear.
I do like the videos from that movie that they made. Them walking.
Those are so good.
The tundra and all that. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
So it's not a bad movie for what it is. I enjoyed it. I liked it.
What's interesting though, interesting to me at least, because of my position in radio, but also in country radio, I get a lot of interesting emails, and one of the ones I get is from this dude named, I can't even say his name, but it's like Gaert, and then like his last name is like Hauskas or something like that. So they're from somewhere in Europe, and they send me samples of singer-songwriters doing country music. But like with distinct like Swedish accents or like very European accents, but country music.
Interesting.
They weren't able to Keith Urbanize themselves like Keith Urban was.
Yeah.
Because when he talks, he has that thick Australian accent.
Sure.
You do not hear it when he's singing.
Yeah.
And this
kind of like Ozzy.
This is exactly the opposite.
Yeah. Interesting. So do they talk normal and then they sing and it's heavily accented?
I haven't heard him talk actually, but the music, it's interesting to hear what Europeans' take on country music is. I'll have to get a couple and let you sample them.
I'll wait with bated breath.
They're rather interesting.
I'll wait with bated breath. Swedish country music. Goes down smooth.
I try not to bait my breath whenever possible.
Oh, man. Let me give you the rundown for this hour of the show. Here in just a few, we'll get you up to date with the weather. And then around 8:15 or so, we're going to play our interview we had yesterday with Regina Smith, certified nurse practitioner with Loveless General Medicine facilitator. I think that's the word to use.
Dater.
Yeah, she joined us to talk a little bit about the flu season and RSV and the differences between this and COVID and all the three-headed dragon that's going around right now. So talking about that. And of course, if you have anything else wrong with you, she can help you do that too. So we had a great conversation with her. We'll play that for you in just a bit. I am now caught up on that Tulsa. Well, I'm one episode behind. I've seen the first 3 episodes of Tulsa King. I love it.
That's the one with Stallone, right?
That's the one with Stallone.
Okay.
I dig it. It's kind of Rocky meets Goodfellas. It's very much like it's got the mob, the whole thing. He's a mob, but he's got that Rocky mindset. That older, slow talk. But he's pretty wise, really.
Right.
Where Rocky was, he's a dummy that's wiser than most people think, kind of thing. He's kind of that same where he's taking care of business and being a gangster guy.
Right.
But being that, father-like, mentor type, too.
It still requires a lot of suspension of disbelief that a 76-year-old dude is getting stuff done like he is.
That's just it. That's a thing in the first couple episodes where he's meeting someone and
what are you going to do, old man? He punched him in the throat or something like that.
She didn't think he was 78. I think he's 78 in the show.
Okay.
Yeah, and she was like, "I thought you were 50 something." Because in fairness,
he looks good.
How many 78-year-old men look like Sylvester Stallone?
You're not wrong.
No, man,
you're not wrong.
He looks very good.
Man probably hadn't had a carb in 30 years.
I don't know. I have no idea how that guy eats.
I'm sure I'm guessing he probably works over a side of beef and then just takes bites out of it while he's doing it.
He's just eating like us now.
Yeah,
maybe not.
Maybe
not.
If he's getting away with eating like we're eating, then more power to you, bud.
Yeah. I think he's eating less raw egg and
probably
more meal.
Probably a lot of barley grain stuff. A lot of green.
He's got a few of that going on, but
he's probably got Opal on speed dial.
The fact that he's worked out his whole life might help too.
So. What's funny is the existence of that show. I was with some friends. We were just kind of scrolling through some stuff. The existence of that show led us to a movie that we watched that was good in how bad it was. It was one of those that's real fun to sit there and make fun of with your friends, and it's called Section 8.
Oh, I think I've seen that movie.
I enjoyed it because it's got a lot of action elements and stuff, but also a lot of tropes that you're going to laugh at.
Is that like from the 90s or something?
No, it's brand new.
Then I haven't seen it.
It's got Dolph Lundgren.
Oh, wow.
And Mickey Rourke.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They pulled those two out. That's what the side by side was. Would we watch the Sylvester Stallone? No, we watched the Dolph Lundgren and Mickey Rourke vehicle.
See, there's another movie called something like that, similar in the 90s, so I thought maybe that was it.
It's got all those, like from the unending movie clip, gun clip, like where you walk in with a pistol and you can take every single person in that crime syndicate out with one clip.
Nice.
They do that.
Oh, good.
Up until the Magic Infinite movie clip doesn't work for a plot device. So with that, it's also I out loud said to the screen, "Stop shaking the camera." It doesn't. There's no point in watching an action sequence when the camera's doing this thing. It's like,
oh man,
what are you doing? What do you think you're adding to the
giving
thing?
Giving people seizures.
Yeah, you're just adding to the frantic. Like I really need the guy who's watching this to stop moving. A dude with Tourette's telling me what happened. Or Parkinson's, excuse me.
Is it on Netflix or?
It's on whatever the Stallone show is on.
Oh, Paramount.
Yeah, it's on Paramount.
Paramount Plus.
There you go.
Very good. All right, well, I might have to check that out. It is 8:14. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Should be pretty nice today. We're expecting low 70s with high pressure over our area. We should get plenty of sunshine. Turning cloudy overnight, we'll drop into the low to mid 40s, and then tomorrow mostly sunny, and we're back up to about 70. Little system rolling in on Wednesday night with a few showers, and then sunny and a little bit cooler on Thursday. Our afternoon high in the low 60s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Have you noticed the days are getting shorter? This is Jim Gill from Roswell Seed Company. I know it's kind of hard to tell, but we're on the downhill side of the year, so every day is a couple of minutes shorter than the one before, even though your plants need plenty of food and water to keep them healthy. Like those globe willows that are turning yellow. A good dose of the right fertilizer will make them bright green again. No matter what the problems you're having, we probably have a cure at Roswell Seed Company, but come see us soon, because winter's coming, you know.
The numbers don't lie. Crime is up in southeastern New Mexico. In 2021, Roswell had almost 40 crimes per 1,000, including larceny, assault battery, burglary, motor vehicle theft, robbery, and homicide. These days, the best defense you can get is having a locally owned company install the best security system available. That's Xena Security Services. They offer real security solutions for your home and business. When it comes to your safety, you need a locally owned, locally minded security company at your defense. Call Xena Security Services today. 575-626-3521. 575-626-3521.
It takes a long time to develop trust. At LaGrone Funeral Chapel, they've been earning your trust for decades. They understand how important it is to friends and family to celebrate a life in the way you choose. The professionals at LaGrone will ease your stress and anxieties. They'll provide the guidance you need to select a service that's appropriate. And that's what they've been doing for generations. Earning your trust and doing the right thing. LaGrone Funeral Chapel and Crematory, 900 South Main in Roswell. Online at LaGroneFuneralChapels.com.
When you're not feeling well, the last thing you want to worry about is how soon you can get in to see your healthcare provider or even finding a provider if you don't have one. Well, now you can feel better knowing that the Loveless Healthcare Center in Roswell offers appointments for when you're not feeling well or for checkups, annual exams, or any chronic issues that need attention. To schedule an appointment or to find a new healthcare provider, call 575-627-4200 today.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. 1 in 3 snake bite victims is drunk. 1 in 5 is tattooed. Hold my beer and check this out. Here's Mike Winters.
That's joining us in studio this morning from Loveless Regional Hospital, Regina Smith, primary care nurse practitioner, back with us. Good morning. How are you doing? Physician's assistant, I believe, is the official
nurse
title.
Practitioner. You got it right the first time.
There you go. But, does a lot of people to help people. That thing's a lot of help people. That's what she does.
There you go.
How are you doing today?
I am awesome. How about you?
Doing good. Well, imagine this time of year, your office is probably pretty busy with cold and flu season and RSV and every other variation of cold and flu-like things we got going on right now here. So I guess the main thing today is just kind of put it ever on people's radar and kind of the difference between the two or the three and everything else that's going on right now, and just kind of remind people to take care of yourself.
Exactly. and right now we're dealing with, like you said, RSV, flu, and COVID.
COVID, yeah.
And, it's been all over the news about, some people having 3 and the concern about a tridemic type of situation.
Sure.
I can tell you that New Mexico is one of the leading states in the United States for high flu cases right now.
Congratulations.
So congratulations.
We're top of the list.
We have made the top of the list. So the amount of flu that we're seeing here is unreal.
Okay.
RSV, we look at that more for the young ones,
sure,
and the elderly, because those are the ones that it's really dangerous.
So it is available for elder, because I've always heard kids and kids and kids. So I didn't know if it was adults got it too, or so. So it is possible, but more likely older folks. And
it's possible that anybody can get RSV.
Okay.
When we really start looking and testing and wanting to know, is people that are immunocompromised, the young and the elderly.
Gotcha.
So actually, a lot of people, somebody in their 30s, could have it. What it's going to look like is a bronchial cold.
Gotcha.
Okay,
good deal.
Yes.
Well, that's what, I don't have any of that. I just have a regular garden variety cold. I actually feel pretty okay. I just don't sound my best. So.
Sure.
But yeah, it's going around like everything else here. So really, I mean, as far as like a patient perspective, are they all treated the same? You just you treat like you would for flu. Flu is rest. Medicine. I mean, is it all? I mean, obviously from a medical standpoint, they're different. They're caused by different things, but to us, they all kind of look the same. They look like the flu.
They do. So that's part of our job, is trying to figure out which one it is.
Sure.
We can test for these things. We can test in the office. So you're able to come by our office at 1112 North Main and be tested.
Okay.
Okay. And then the treatment, for COVID, we have for adults Paxlovid, which is an antiviral.
Gotcha.
Which really reduces the symptoms.
Okay.
For flu, we have Tamiflu. So we can help
which we've
with
had
that
for a few years now.
Right. And for RSV, really, you use, nebulized saline or some sort of bronchial stimulation.
Now, does like for instance, say you have RSV or COVID, but you treat it with Tamiflu. Will the Tamiflu have any kind of benefit?
No.
So you really have to delineate which strain or which of the 3 it is. Because the treatment, one will be beneficial, the other 2 will not be. I didn't know if you got some.
Correct.
I didn't know if it was like you take a Tylenol and it kind of will treat the symptoms.
Sure. Yeah.
But no, it won't help you at all if you misdiagnosed, basically, and if you have
exactly.
Flu,
so that's why it's so important to come in, get tested.
Gotcha.
Let's figure out what it is that you've got, and you may not right now. We've got a lot of sinus stuff that's just going around.
Sure. The garden variety crud.
And it has it looks like all 3 of them, and it's not.
Yeah.
So when we rule that out, then we're able to work with you on that too.
Sure.
So, yes.
So really, the best thing is come and either schedule an appointment with you or with your primary care physician and say, hey, let's see what you got going on here, whether it's a cold, a flu, COVID, or RSV, or just the crud.
Yes.
Once that determined, and then it's easy. All right, great. You got COVID, here, start taking the Paxlovid, or here's your Tamiflu or whatever. And I think Tamiflu, that's an over-the-counter thing now, isn't it?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Okay, I thought maybe that was even like they had a over-the-counter strength version of that now. But either way, it's important to determine which strain it is. Otherwise, you're going to be dealing with it for a lot longer than you wanted to, probably.
Pretty much. And, the big thing that I want to drive home is, first thing, you can prevent a lot of this by vaccination.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's very controversial, but I'm going to throw that out there. Vaccine for COVID, vaccine for flu.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that your children's vaccinations completely are up to date. And the second thing I want to drive home is that, when you do get this, it's important to find out what it is, because we don't need you running around in the community with this, because that's how we pass it around at schools, so you need to stay home when we figure out kind of what's going on.
Sure.
So you don't pass it around. And mask wearing. Wear a mask if you think you're sick.
Sure. Just to be considerate for others on some of those.
Absolutely.
Let me ask you this. For folks like I've had the original 3 Are those still providing us any benefit, or have those kind of run its course and you need these boosters now to I mean, are they providing any protection at all, or are they kind of worn out, so to speak?
Well, they're pretty much worn out. I'm not saying that they're not providing. What I'm telling you is that what we're seeing is Omicron variants now.
Just don't.
And because of the Omicron variants, we have these new vaccines that are targeted to the Omicron variants.
Gotcha.
Kind of like we do with the flu every year.
Sure.
We look at what variants there are and then
kind of pick a string.
Exactly. It's going to be the same way.
Gotcha. And that's pretty much how we're going to deal with COVID for the foreseeable future.
I believe so.
Every year we'll get a shot that matches the strain that's kind of impacting most of the people, and it's an educated guess, but it is a bit of a guess every year with flu shot.
Sure.
So it'll be that same. So even if they don't nail it that year, it'll still provide. Like even when because there's been years with the flu shot, they're like, oh, we didn't quite get it right, but it's still gonna seriously reduce the symptoms and things of the flu, but it may not protect you from not getting it all together like we hoped it would. Kind of
well, and what we know about vaccinations is that they reduce morbidity and mortality, and that's huge.
Sure,
especially in the young, in the elderly, and if you're middle-aged and you have a lot of health concerns. And when I'm talking a lot of health concerns, even obesity is considered a health concern.
Sure.
That's very, very strong for COVID right now. So, I mean, there's really some risk there.
Absolutely. And that's, well, and if you think about it, if COVID, it's like any other thing. If you already have pre-existing conditions, if you have a lowered immune system because of you're young or older, or like you said, because you're dealing with cancer, diabetes, any kind of pre-existing or long-term condition, which we talk about, we're talking, heart disease, if you're susceptible to having a stroke or a heart attack, if you're a higher risk, guess what? You're also higher risks for having a rougher time with COVID and these other, the different flu-like colds here that are going on. That's just, we all know that. The science is there. So if you are suffering from diabetes or anything that you're treating when you're not dealing with cold and flu, then it's best for you especially to get these booster vaccines and things because, let's face it, a healthy 20-something that's athletic and in good shape gets COVID, it's a minor inconvenience for them. They get a cold for a couple of days, might stay home and watch some bad TV and then go to work, they're done. With someone that's, dealing with diabetes or something like that, it can make those conditions worse, and now we have to take you to the hospital because you can't breathe or because of something else that's going on here. It's just that COVID takes advantage. It's like cancer. It goes where the path of least resistance to do its most damage, and if you've got a weakened immune system, it's going to have a field day with you. If you're young and virile and kind of have a built-up antibodies and things, it's going to have a tougher time cracking that case. So,
correct.
And it's life. We all deal with it. Best bet is to go ahead and get your booster, get your shot, do the things that are best for your health, and that's why. I know we live in a world everyone's like, get your booster or your enemy, public enemy and all that. I'm not going all that direction, but you should make an educated decision. If you're commonly getting sick and commonly dealing with things, might be a good idea to go ahead and get your boosters, get your flu shot, get your COVID boosters and vaccines and all that. That way, even if you get this stuff, now it's a little cold and you go home and drink some chicken soup and watch bad TV and then go back to work for a couple of days.
Exactly. And then, like I said, the big thing is you can come into our office on Main Street and be tested. And then we can make you an appointment. But if you have any kind of concern, we can even run out and test you in your car. So to keep you safe and to keep everybody else safe and call you at a later date, even do a televideo visit with you if we need to keep you safe and keep you isolated.
Sure.
We will go to all lengths to get you taken care of. The last thing we want you to do is to have to present to the emergency room to be tested for the flu. They are completely overrun right now. That's why our offices are stepping it up and use
your primary care. Care if you can to get that done to save you headache hassle and overworking of our ERs here. But imagine both of them are probably pretty packed right now with flu and cold and those types of deals going.
Yes.
Oh, by the way, they got the regular caseload of coronary and strokes and car accidents and everything else that happens in our day-to-day lives.
Yes.
So it's too easy just to go get that shot or if you do come get those systems, please make that appointment and
absolutely. We'll figure it out for you. We'll figure out what it is you have.
Yeah.
You just protect yourself. If you're out in the community, please remember to wear a mask. If you do have COVID, do have the flu, you may opt to choose to stay home. That's probably the kinder thing to do. And also wash your hands. That's a big thing. That's how this is all transmitted.
Just because the pandemic portion is over doesn't mean you should stop washing your hands. That's one thing we
things that we learned through the pandemic, we really need to continue to apply.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's, even if maybe you're not one for all the masks and all that, okay. Well, maybe just at least be a little proactive about not getting close to people. Just kind of do your own little 6 feet kind of thing. It's like you see a gaggle of people. It's all right, let's take a few steps back. We don't need to be up in each other's grill and all that kind of thing.
Exactly.
But please just be cognizant of it and be your own advocate sometimes here. That's and I'm just as guilty of this as anybody else. We like to be road warriors and say I'll be fine, pushed. Well, here I am. There's probably a few days last week I probably should have been here, but here I sit. And and so don't be that. And if you're sick, stay home. Don't. It's there's nothing in this world that's too urgent that we can't wait till tomorrow to get it done.
Exactly. And our office on Main Street, 1112, we treat pediatrics all the way to elderly. So we do the whole gamut.
I remember the old radio days, like from the womb to the tomb. Come on down.
Pretty much. That's where we were going with this. So we have providers that can do that. There's myself that's there. There's Dr. Peter Jewell, and there's Sarah East Brumana.
All three are awesome. We've had them all on the show. And
then we have Leander Finney also.
Oh, I don't think I've met that person.
Yeah.
But very, like I said, and of course, if you're dealing with other things that have nothing to do with flu or COVID or RSV or any of that kind of stuff, just come on down.
Come on in.
And we'll take, you guys are the front line of defense on this primary care stuff. So if you got, even if it's heart or any of those issues, come see Regina or any of the staff there, and they can get you with the right specialists in the Loveless system to do the follow-on and the more important work that they need.
Absolutely.
To be,
and we are taking new patients. So there's a lot of places in town that are no longer taking new patients. We are.
Absolutely.
Currently.
I do want to ask a quick question since we're talking about because a lot of people probably still have like COVID kits sitting at home, the COVID test kits and all that, which is great. Take them, use them, test them as need be. But if they test negative for COVID at home, that doesn't mean you still don't have the flu or RSV or something like that. So if you test negative for COVID, that doesn't mean you should not go to the doctor if you're not feeling well, because it could be the flu. It could be RSV. And unless you want to take an extremely long time to get rid of those, go get your doctor's appointment so you can get the proper medicines, and we can speed up this process and not drag it out into a month-long thing or making it linger around so it turns into something worse that can actually kill you. And that's because I'm guessing, and correct me if I'm wrong, when you get like flu or COVID or RSV, it's not the disease, it's not that actual condition that kills you. It's usually it lowers your immune system to the point where the other things can come in.
That's usually
kind of like
the
AIDS
case.
or something. It's like you don't die from AIDS per se. You die from pneumonia. Or you die for something that your immune system just can't fight no more.
Correct.
And in essence, this kind of does the same thing to your body.
Yes, it does.
So that's why you have to treat it seriously and get the proper meds for it. It's not that's going to get you, but opens your body to anybody and their uncle coming in and taking you out, basically.
Exactly.
So that's why it's important.
And one thing I want to mention with the home COVID tests is if you're going to take one at home, and I know that a lot were mailed out from the government for free last year, look at the expiration date.
They aren't as fresh as we thought.
A lot of them expired back in August and stuff. So look at the expiration date. They were not long-lived.
Okay.
it's useless.
So if you buy one at the store, those got a little more shelf life than the free ones the government gave you.
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess.
You got the generic ones. You need to get the Kleenex version, the good ones. not the knockoff brand that you got for free.
There you go.
But all joking aside, that is a good tip. Don't, just because you have it in your thing doesn't mean it's still hunky dory. They have shelf lives like a lot of other medicines and other products here too. So please be cognizant of that too. And for the sake of argument too, if you have that NyQuil that's been sitting in your cabinet since like 2 cold and flu seasons ago, you might want to pony up for a new one.
Replace it. Look at the expiration date.
And they give you. I'm just saying they usually give you a good leeway on expiration dates. Like, so if it says it expires in 2022, you probably had that cough syrup for about 3 years in your house.
Exactly.
Let's go pony up for the new one.
One thing that I do want to bring up that you bring up with cough syrup and stuff is, and I work with a lot of children in my practice, and cough syrups and cold remedies are not approved by the FDA for children under a certain age.
Really?
Yeah, usually like 6 or 7.
Interesting.
So if you've got a little one, we've got to look at other options.
Okay. Don't be just self-doctoring.
Do not give them over-the-counter adult strength medicine.
I know they do make some kid versions that
and
you can
some
buy.
of those, and they'll tell you, you can use it at 7 or above.
Okay.
But please read your labels.
Sure.
Because really, they're not approved and they can do some harm.
Good deal.
So that's another reason you'd want to come in and see us, and we can get them something.
Makes perfect sense there too. Yeah. And so yes, please make and obviously because I know we parents we want to do everything we can to stop our children's suffering and things, but a baby's body still being developed and it's a lot different than your body right now. So
exactly,
it needs a lot more work and tender loving care until it can do some of its things on its own and build up its own immunities and things like that, which your baby will do. It just takes a little time.
Sure.
But in the meantime, you got to put it in a bubble. And of course, don't forget if you've got anything else going on too, please don't. I know, like you said, it's busy right now with cold and flu, and a lot of people are coming in getting those kinds of things taken care of. But if you're dealing with any other issues, please don't put it on the back burner. I know some people, that was, we worried a lot about that during the pandemic where people weren't taking care of their normal pre-existing diabetes and heart conditions and not taking care of that kind of stuff. Don't use this as a reason not to keep up on that.
One of the things, and you bring up an awesome point here that I do want to say is because of the pandemic, I have run into numerous people, women that have not had mammograms in 3 years, well women exams, well men exams.
The routine stuff.
Your Medicare wellness for those 65 and older. Yearly exams for children, just to keep their immunizations up to date.
Absolutely.
So we're seeing a bunch of deficiencies with that. Please don't hesitate. We're here and we do it all.
Absolutely. And you're doing your children and yourself right by scheduling these things regularly.
Sure.
These are the types of things that keep you from having to visit for the other stuff. That's
right.
And in all fairness, by you being up on your medicines and stuff for diabetes and all that, you're actually giving your body a better chance if you do get sick. Now, at least, you know how hard it is for someone that's untreated diabetes to get over COVID versus someone that's been maintaining and keeping their blood sugars and all. Your body's in a much healthier place to fight it if
That's
you're not.
Correct.
Because now your body's already working overtime trying to fix what's going on with the diabetes or the heart or stroke or whatever conditions that pre-existing that you're dealing with, and then we throw in another wrinkle. Oh, here's a COVID virus, or here's the flu virus. Here's something else in there that we got to divide and conquer to go fix. And so your body just can't. There's only so much of that your body can take before it starts shutting down. So do yourself that favor and take care of yourself. Get your vaccines. Get your boosters. Make regular appointments with your physicians. Taking care of those chronic conditions. the best thing you can do for yourself is to stay on top of those things. Seeing your doctor regularly, staying in constant conversation with them about your pre-existing conditions. So, and I know enough to know that just when you think you have a lot of them nicked in the bud, they mutate and alter, and you have to change things. That's just, I know diabetes especially, just when you think you got a good routine going and your body done changes and you got to try again. That's just right. How it works. So, and it's not anybody's fault. It's just life and how it works, and you got to understand that.
That's right.
So please don't delay these kind of things. If you're feeling like like you got a cold thing coming on, take your home COVID test and thing, and then schedule an appointment. And let's go ahead and narrow down which one of it is, or if it's none of the above, and then go accordingly.
And know that because we are seeing new patients at Loveless, we can get you in quick. We can make this expedient and a very quick process for you.
I mean, as far as COVID and RSV and flu, I mean, they're all pretty similar as far as what they look like. Is there a significant difference in the looks for someone, or like for a layperson to tell, or is it strictly just tests that you guys do to
It's pretty
determine
much
the difference?
The tests. I mean, you're going to have a runny nose with the flu. You could have a runny nose with COVID. You're definitely going to have a runny nose with RSV. Cough the same way. So it's really different. The one that you can kind of tell the difference with is strep, and that's something that we haven't talked about. A lot of strep going around with kids. Usually they don't have the cough and the runny nose and stuff as much.
Just the soreness and the...
Right. But that's honestly about it. We need to test you. That's why it's so important.
Yes. So please don't delay. You can, if you don't have a primary care physician, come on down. Regina and any of the professionals there can help you out. They're located at 1112 North Main. Call the office direct, 575-627-4200, or come on by. You can even, and you can schedule an appointment with Regina Smith or any of the other physicians there that can help you take care same day, next day. I mean, a lot of times you can get your child in or yourself in this day, same day, and all that too.
Absolutely.
So, and I imagine give them a little time on Mondays, because I imagine Mondays are a little bit crazier than other days, because everybody gets sick over the weekend, and so there's probably, that's why we need to let her go, because there's probably about 10 people sitting at her office right now waiting for her to get taken care of here today. So we want to do that. But is there anything we missed? Anything that you guys wanted to share, or anything that we wanted to get out there that maybe people should know?
Just please take care of yourself, and I speak for myself, and I believe the other providers, that we're just really blessed to work in this wonderful community of Roswell, and we want you to know that we do support the community, and
we're very fortunate to have I mean, think about it, a town this size. We got not one but two great hospitals here.
Correct.
And so we're now a mecca. I remember when I first moved here 20-some years ago, people were going to Albuquerque, Lubbock, somewhere other than here to get stuff done. And nowadays, people come here to come.
Absolutely.
Loveless is a big reason for that. So we're very thankful, and we're very, very appreciative. So as much as you guys are thankful to be here, we are very thankful. And can we get burritos at the hospital yet? Yeah. All right. See, I waited till the very end to bring that up today. I'm a one-track mind dude. So they do. Get there early. So, again, to make an appointment with Regina Smith or anyone there at the office, come on by 1112 North Main. Call 575-627-4200. You can also go to loveless.com, right? Mm-hmm. And you can find a physician and read everything about everything there, too. So very good. Well, thank you as always. Appreciate the visit.
Thank you.
Stay healthy, and we'll see you here next time. And don't work too hard.
Be blessed.
Thank
you.
And Merry Christmas if I don't see you between now and then
Mike,
too.
Thanks.
I will. I'm gonna get in trouble. That's what I always do at Christmas. I do more than I should.
Now your Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Cirillo. Pavement maintenance work taking place today and Wednesday on East Reed Street between South Main Street and South Virginia Avenue in Roswell. And because of that, you'll need to be alert. Traffic will be limited during working hours on both days. Access, however, will be maintained for residents and businesses in the area, according to a statement from the City of Roswell. A Ruidoso man sentenced to life in prison for killing his 2-year-old son continues to claim his innocence. Ricardo Soto was convicted in October of intentional child abuse. He is appealing that conviction despite prosecutors claiming that he inflicted the boy's injuries and then fled to Mexico to avoid being captured. Soto's defense attorneys claim the child's fractures and ultimate death were actually caused by a pre-existing blood clot combined with a fall at his daycare center. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello reporting.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Should be pretty nice today. We're expecting low 70s with high pressure over our area. We should get plenty of sunshine. Turning cloudy overnight, we'll drop into the low to mid 40s, and then tomorrow mostly sunny, and we're back up to about 70. Little system rolling in on Wednesday night with a few showers, and then sunny and a little bit cooler on Thursday. Our afternoon high in the low 60s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bernie Bennett. In response to the new EU measures aimed at limiting Russian oil products, the Kremlin says that the $60 per barrel price cap will not affect its military operation in Ukraine. Correspondent Sarah Naffa has this report.
Eurasia analyst Chris Weafer tells the press at this price level that outlook really doesn't change much.
What is key is how much volume Russia will be able to sell, and that depends not only on the willingness of Asian buyers to continue buying Russian oil, but also what is the physical ability of Russia to shift that oil.
Experts think Western nations are walking a fine line between trying to cut Russia's oil income and preventing a shortage that would cause a price spike and worsen inflation.
Tuesday marks the first ever U.S. auction for leases to develop commercial-scale floating wind farms in the deep waters off the West Coast. The live online auction for the 5 leases has attracted strong interest. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bernie Bennett in Washington.
This is the owner of Trustmark Roofing, and nothing makes us happier than telling our customers no. As in, no pricing games. We give you a guaranteed price, and then we stand by it. No surprises, no gotchas. No obscurity. We don't just tell you what's wrong with your roof. We record our inspections and show you. No lemons. We install premium roofing materials from top brands like Owens Corning. No shortcuts. We're in the 2% of roofers with the Owens Corning Preferred Contractor Certificate for our local area. This means we offer precision installation and the longest warranties. Want a beautiful new roof that's built to last? Choose Trustmark Roofing, the roofer that loves to tell our customers no. For an estimate, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
The average American takes 8 to 10,000 steps each day, and for those suffering from foot problems, each one can be agonizing. The podiatry team at Artesia General Hospital can help diagnose and treat foot and ankle conditions, including diabetic foot issues, arthritis, bunions, or other problems. Doctors Joseph Marino and Joseph Krupa are podiatrists specializing in wound care, fracture care, foot and ankle surgery, and more. Put your feet in good hands. Request an appointment at artesiageneral.com/podiatry, APPT.
The tradition continues. The Roswell Christmas Railway, now at the Eastern New Mexico State Fairgrounds. Climb aboard the Christmas wagon or head for Elftown, where the magic of the season awaits, with indoor and outdoor attractions, food, shopping, and of course, Santa. And check out the all-new Shepherd's Petting Zoo and Nativity. Find tickets and more at RoswellChristmasRailway.com. The Roswell Christmas Railway, returning this holiday season at the Eastern New Mexico State Fairgrounds, powered by XL Energy and sponsored by Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply, Berkshire Hathaway Realtors, and Straight Shot Wireless. Merry Christmas!
Hey, if you're like most New Mexicans who don't have health insurance, it's probably because you think you can't afford it. Well, thanks to federal and now state-funded financial assistance, health insurance is more affordable than ever. In fact, most uninsured New Mexicans can get very low-cost or even no-cost health insurance from quality brand-name insurance companies you know and trust. Let the friendly and knowledgeable team at BeWellNM guide you through the process. Our help is free. Visit BeWellNM.com today.
Over the next several weeks, we want to give you 5 key elements to a great marriage. This is taken from an article by Drs. Les and Leslie Perot. Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for The Joy of Marriage. The first one is ownership. taking responsibility for the good as well as the bad.
1 Corinthians 11:31 says, "Judge yourself so you won't be judged." It's talking about the judgment of God, but it also applies to our relationships, especially the ones that are closest to us, like marriage. If you'll just take responsibility for your own actions, it's so much easier for our spouses not to have to point out and criticize us.
So we have to take responsibility for our actions and our reactions, our attitudes and our mistakes. You know, most people would learn from their mistakes if they weren't so busy denying them.
You aren't responsible for what your spouse does. You are responsible for doing your part. So just decide today to do your part and take ownership.
At Anderson Bethany Funeral Home and Crematorium, we honor and pay tribute to the achievements of your loved one by celebrating the life you shared together. Anderson Bethany Funeral Home and Crematorium is compassionate and cares about our local community and the families we serve here in southeastern New Mexico. Locally owned and operated, we will be here to help you decide how to celebrate the bond you've shared and pay tribute to the unique individual you've lost. Visit us at 2609 South Main in Roswell or call 622-5888.
Oasis Computers has been Roswell's trusted source for home and small business computers for over 30 years, and they continue to be your best resource for computer repairs, operating system upgrades, web root managed, antivirus, special orders, and more. Oasis Computers is now open from 8 to 1, Monday through Friday to better serve you. Service calls by appointments and after-hour appointments are available too. Stop by Oasis Computers at 1703 North Garden or call or text 575-625-9141 for even faster service.
Mark your calendars, shoppers. The Yucca Blossom Christmas Jamboree is set for December 10th and 11th at the Eddy County Fairgrounds in Artesia. Over 90 booths featuring all kinds of arts and crafts, candles, jewelry, clothing, keychains, home decor, kitchen and bath accessories, and so much more. Bring the family. There's something for everyone. Santa Claus will be there both days. There's plenty to eat and drink, too, with several food trucks on site. The Yucca Blossom Christmas Jamboree, December 10th and 11th at the Eddy County Fairgrounds, and paid by Eddy County Lodgers Tax.
Are you a motivated self-starter? Someone who hates the word no? Then Pecos Valley Broadcasting wants you to join our sales team. Pecos Valley Broadcasting Company and its family of stations are currently seeking part-time sales associates for the Roswell, Artesia, and Carlsbad areas. This is your chance to earn additional income, build relationships with local businesses, and create amazing advertising and sponsorship campaigns. Sales experience is a plus, but we'll train and mentor the right person. If this is the chance you've been waiting for, email your resume to gene.dow@pvbcradio.com to set up your interview. Pecos Valley Broadcasting is an equal opportunity employer.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The first toilet being flushed in a motion picture was in the movie Psycho. Mike thought it was Gone with the Wind. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 8:50. Stay tuned next hour, about 9:15 or so. We'll have Larry Martin from wearing his, actually a different hat, his Midday Lions hat next hour. He'll give us an update on some of the things they've got coming up. Got a couple events want to put on your radar over the next couple weeks here. This Saturday, the Roswell Joy Center will be doing their Christmas breakfast. It's their annual fundraising event where they offer breakfast. Santa will be there. They have little vending booths and things for people to do a little Christmas shopping. But it is this Saturday, December 10th, from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. at the Joy Center, which is located at 1822 North Montana. Breakfast includes pancakes, sausage, milk, tea, or coffee. Cost is $10, plus breakfast with Santa and vendors as well. If you would like to get a ticket or have any questions, want more information, delivery is also available too. If you'd like, reach out. Call this number, 575-914-0285. Again, that's 575-914-0285. And even though we're a couple days away, I think if you would like to still be a vendor, I think they have a little bit of space left. Call and ask for Alex. Again, that phone number is 575-914-0285. 575-914-0285. 0285. Coming up on December 15th, The Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico is doing their Drive-Through of Lights event, Christmas event, and it's going to be taking place between 5:30. Oh, hold on. Oh, maybe that's not me.
The civil authorities have issued
a child EOS go off, and I thought maybe it was me.
New Mexico, beginning at 8:51 a.m. and ending at 9:06 a.m. Albuquerque, NM. The following is information for the distribution of an Amber Alert for the Albuquerque Police Department, APD. Please refer all inquiries to APD at 505-242-2677. The Albuquerque Police Department is seeking the public's assistance in locating Oriana Clinton, a Native American female child, 5 years old, 3 feet tall, 70 pounds, with brown eyes and black hair. Oriana was last seen around 4 p.m. on December 5, 2022, near 51st Street and Central in Albuquerque, attempting to board a city bus with her intoxicated father, Nicholas Clinton. Due to the father's state of intoxication, the two were denied access to the bus. When Nicholas returned to the Hop-Up shelter located at 1511 Gibson Boulevard, he returned without Oriana. Oriana was last seen wearing a blue long-sleeve shirt and blue jeans. Her whereabouts are not known. Many details are still unknown and under investigation. However, of urgent concern is the whereabouts of Oriana Clinton. Anyone with any information regarding this Amber Alert is asked to call the Albuquerque Police Department at 505-242-2677 or dial 911.
Okay, I think that alert looks like they had sounds like a Amber Alert or a missing person there. Sounds like Albuquerque area, but you heard the information. If you hear it here, see anything of those folks and give them a call there. So, very good. Sorry about that. The Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico is doing their Drive-Through of Lights event that's taking place December 15th. It's a drive-through only between 5:30 and 6. The event will include, of course, they want folks to come drive through, see all the Christmas lights and things we'll have going on there. The first 50 cars that come through will get a special gift bag. Plus, they have hot cocoa, Christmas treats, selfies with Santa, and more. The event is a gift, is our gift to thank you to for all the folks that support throughout the year. So if you'd like to come by and drive through and see the Christmas lights and all, I would love to have you do that. If you want to continue to support the Historical Society, you can do so by bringing your loose change or donations, or of course do a little shopping. The Historical Society got some great Christmas gifts for folks if you're looking for ideas for some people on your list, including our books. We have a lot of local authors that have written some amazing books. You can see all of those at our website. Peter Hurd prints as well. We sell. The Hurd family donated a bunch, and we sell them and use them as fundraising money for the Historical Society. So if you'd like any of those, go to our website, which is www.roswellnmhistory.org. Again, that's roswellhistory.org, and go to the website and check it out. You can also call the Historical Society if you have any questions, 575-622-8333. Again, that's 575-622-8333, or go to roswellnmhistory.org to get to check it out, learn more. By the way, becoming a member is a great way to support too. If you want to become a member in 2023, again, log on to roswellnmhistory.org, and you can see the different levels of membership, individual, couples, even all the way up to corporate level sponsorships. All of it, big support. You get perks depending on the different levels of membership and things that you get as part of your membership. But another way, and another even great way to support is renting out the archives facility. We have the archives facility. We're downstairs and upstairs and all the other stairs. They have they've got stuff stored, but we have the main meeting space there with a full kitchen, and I think it accommodates like 70 some people. So if you got a business meeting or a small little reception or party, Historical Society can help you out there. And again, it's a great way to support the Historical Society. And I know we do like wedding receptions and business meetings and parties. If you're looking for like photos for like wedding receptions, the property is a pretty good place with the home and the garden and the trees and everything. It makes a nice backdrop for wedding photos and stuff. So if you're looking for that kind of stuff, the Historical Society can accommodate too. And don't forget, if you'd like to tour the Historical Society, they're doing it by appointment. It's easy. Just call, again, 575-622-8333, and just making arrangements for your private group tour. Just ask for a donation. That's all they ask for. And I'm peeling back the curtain. It's kind of a nicer tour because you get a personalized tour. It's you and your small group, and you get to ask questions, and kind of it's actually a lot better. So sign up for one. We got our docents. Everybody love to come and offer you a tour for that kind of stuff too. So again, for any information about anything with the Historical Society, reach out by phone 575-622-8333 or by checking out their website, roswellnmhistory.org. You can also shoot an email to Amy, the director, historydirector@outlook.com. historydirector@outlook.com. But come on by December 15th between 5:30 and 6:30 p.m. There at the Historical Society Museum parking lot, 200 North Lee here in downtown Roswell. And one more time, if you have any questions about the Christmas breakfast at the Joy Center this Saturday, or you need to get tickets, reach out by calling them at 575-914-0285, 575-914-0285. Call and ask for Alex if you're interested in tickets, or if you are wanting to see if there's still some space to be a vendor at the Christmas event. So all of that, busy weekend here. All right, it is closing in on 9 o'clock. Town Hall News coming up next. We'll be back here on the other side of Town Hall News. Next hour, Larry Martin with the wearing his Midday Lions hat will join us, give us an update on what's happening with the Lions and all that. That's coming up next hour. We'll be back on the other side of news. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Roswell's home for talk radio is 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
News this hour.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Elephants usually...
The FBI is involved in the hunt for those behind what North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper calls a criminal attack. A gunfire targeting a couple of electric substations in Moore County last weekend.
Regardless of motive, violence and sabotage will not be tolerated.
The governor on WTVD. Tens of thousands of utility customers still without power. Cooper says crews have been working 24/7 to get the lights back on. Ukraine is increasingly taking the fight to Russia, with a fire breaking out today at an airport on Russian soil.
The fire occurs the day after Moscow blamed Kyiv for drone strikes on 2 air bases deep into Russia and launched another wave of missile strikes on Ukrainian territory. The region's governor says as a result of a drone attack, an oil reservoir near the airport has caught on fire and all emergency services are working on the spot. Ukrainian officials have not formally confirmed carrying out the hit. The unprecedented recent attacks in Russia threaten a major escalation of the 9-month-old war. One of the airfields hit earlier houses bombers capable of carrying nuclear weapons. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
At 101 years old, Pearl Harbor survivor Lou Conter insists he's no hero. The USS Arizona sailor says those who lost their lives, they are the heroes.
December 7th is a very big day, and the 2,403 military men that were killed that day should get the recognition above everybody. They gave their life and they gave the all.
Tomorrow, the 81st anniversary of the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor. Hate crimes and murder charges now filed against the suspect in the Colorado Springs nightclub shooting. Wall Street, the Dow down 170 points. More on these stories, townhall.com.
Charlie Dombeck here from Key City Capital. As a practicing CPA for nearly 30 years, I have found that 80% of your ability to grow your wealth is dependent upon two factors: taxes and investment performance. At Key City Capital, we improve investment performance by diversifying capital into off-market investment opportunities in passive rental real estate and alternatives like asset-backed lending. We recover dollars that clients unnecessarily pay in the form of income taxes, creating a lifetime annuity of savings. We are a sponsor of passive, affordable single and multifamily residential rental investments, which are located in Sunbelt landlord-friendly states. These investments are the top choices in a rising interest rate and inflationary environment. They represent a store of value, protecting your capital from market volatility. Learn how we at Key City Capital can help you ultimately grow your wealth rapidly. Connect with me at keycitycapital.com or give me a call at 817-912-1569.
The UN is warning of a humanitarian crisis in Haiti, a crisis that worsens with each passing day.
The Haitian capital is menaced by hunger, a deadly resurgence of cholera, and the long reach of armed gangs. They determine who comes and who goes in areas they control. That applies to journalists and the UN's World Food Programme. WFP says some in the poorest part of the capital are on the verge of starvation. Mothers there told us they and their children eat once a day if they are lucky and have to get water from wells. The UN is worried its food supplies here could run out within weeks unless it gets more funding.
The BBC's Orla Guerin. Honduras has become the second country in Central America imposing a state of emergency, suspending some constitutional rights in order to deal with street gangs. Townhall.com. He had once been a darling of the Democrats. There was even some talk of running him for president. But instead of the White House, he's in the big house.
Incarcerated lawyer Michael Avenatti, sentenced to 14 years in prison on Monday in Southern California in order to pay more than $10 million in restitution after admitting he cheated 4 of his clients out of millions of dollars. The sentence should run consecutively to the 5 years in prison he is currently serving for separate convictions in New York. It's the last of 3 major federal criminal cases to wrap up against the 51-year-old Californian. Keith Peters reporting.
Top House and Senate leaders today will be awarding law enforcement officers who were at the U.S. Capitol on January 6th of last year with congressional gold medals. The officers to be presented with the highest honor that Congress can bestow. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil said, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Yes, welcome to hour number 3. This is Tanner on the mic today. Thank you, Tanner. Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 at Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome to the show, or the third hour of the show at any rate. If you're just tuning in, then welcome to your first hour.
I like that. Well played.
Yeah. So
it's like if you haven't seen it, it's new to you.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a Facebook memories reminder.
Right.
About today. Things that happened in the past.
Mm-hmm.
9 years ago today, the big guy, Gene Dow, and I left for Roswell, New Mexico to head to Yuma, Arizona. To call a bowl game as the New Mexico Military Institute Broncos were in the Toro Bowl.
Oh, wow.
In Yuma, Arizona.
In Yuma, Arizona.
So Gene and I and a couple other folks piled into a car, and we left today to go to Yuma. And Gene and I...
It was 2013?
2013, yes.
The only reason I know it's because that's the year my daughter was born. She's 9, so I was like, oh, 9, okay. I must
There you go. Simple math.
Uh-huh.
But, so we decided on that day that in the same day, we're going to hit an In-N-Out burger and a Five Guys.
Okay.
And determine for ourselves which one we liked better. So we hit the In-N-Out burger first.
Okay.
There in I can't remember where in Arizona, but on the road.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the first time and only time I've had In-N-Out. I've never had In-N-Out since or before.
Okay.
Not that I don't want to. It's delicious. It's just I didn't have the opportunity to.
Sure.
But so we tried In-N-Out. I went animal style.
Okay.
With the fries and the sandwich.
Did you go double?
Yeah, I did all the lingo and did it up.
You know what? Here's the one thing. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
The one thing I found out you could do that I wished I'd have done.
Yeah.
They'll mustard grill your burgers if you ask them.
So they'll pour mustard on it while they grill it?
You'll coat your burger in mustard before they put it on the grill.
I've never tried that before that I know of.
It sounds phenomenal. Sounds like it would give it an extra little zing.
Well, I imagine it infuses the mustard seed in meat.
I think you order it mustard style, animal style.
Okay. I've not done that.
Yeah, that's the one thing I wished I had done. But I'm sorry, go ahead.
So we ate there, and then that evening when we arrived at our destination,
right?
We ate dinner at a Five Guys.
Okay.
The other two, I don't think were too keen on our idea because they were tired of burgers. But Gene and I were like, no, we're going to Five Guys. I think they went and ate somewhere else, and Gene and I said, we're going to Five Guys.
Okay.
And so we had Five Guys.
Did you have a comparable order at Five Guys?
As comparable as can be. I got a burger.
That's the thing. If you're going to do a side-by-side comparison, you need to make sure you're doing it side-by-side.
I got the burger loaded up pretty good with what I would like.
Right. That's the one cool thing about Five Guys is that they'll put whatever on it for you. It's all free, right? Toppings are free?
Yeah. You get all you want. And now, that particular day, we didn't have green chili on it because we were in Arizona.
Right.
And their Five Guys don't have green chili. That's just something here.
What a travesty.
Yeah. And we came up to the conclusion, though both are tasty, at the end of the day, the Five Guys burger was better to us.
Really?
We enjoyed it.
I will say this. When I went, the only time I've ever had In-N-Out, and I've never had Five Guys, the only time I've ever had In-N-Out was in Vegas.
Okay.
And it was good. The burger was great. The fries were just...
Now, hands down, Five Guys has better fries.
Now, here's a question, because I've never had Five Guys, but did you make the mistake of ordering more than one order of fries for Five Guys?
I'm not new to Five Guys, so I knew better then. I made that mistake many moons ago.
I've never been, but I'm going in with that knowledge. You only order one fry. They're going to fill the whole bag with fries.
And the thing is, they literally tell you where the potatoes came from. I mean, they go all out. They're all nothing frozen, nothing. Right. It's just, and you can now. Granted, if you like the thinner fast food fries, you're probably going to lean In-N-Out.
Yeah,
because these are a little bit thicker, natural cut fries. But taste wise, hands down, I love the because you could literally eat them without all the goop that you put on.
Yeah, the animal style,
and it tastes just fine. And that's the mark of a good fry. If you can eat it. Sans ketchup, sans anything. That's why McDonald's fries hold up.
I would 100% agree. I would say sometimes the ketchup, the whatever, can detract from the fry itself.
Yeah.
I'll enjoy. Case in point, Brahms has some of the best fries. And they do the crinkle cuts, and that's my favorite cut of fry. And they're perfect.
Yeah.
You can't get them anywhere, any better than that, in my opinion. But it comes down to the fact that if you put ketchup on it, anything else like that, it makes it less enjoyable.
Sure. Mm-hmm. So nothing wrong with In-N-Out. I'll enjoy it. Loved it. Now, unfortunately, I did not get to try the shake. I did not get a shake at In-N-Out. Mm-hmm. Five Guys didn't offer a shake at that time.
Right.
They've since now offer it, which I'm guessing because of just how they do shakes there, it's probably a better shake because you can put bacon in that shake if you want to.
It's true.
And they I think they put a freezer in each of the just so they could have milkshakes because prior to that, Five Guys didn't even have freezers.
I think the thing with In-N-Out is not only the simplicity of the menu, but also the history of it and how long it's been. When it comes right down to it, it's there's not a whole lot that goes into that burger that makes it better than any other place.
Well, they pride on their service and a fresh product, and that's what you get, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's good. It's perfect for what it is.
Yeah.
But to me personally, Five Guys is a.
It's interesting you guys went Five Guys versus In-N-Out because most people go In-N-Out versus like White Castle.
Oh, that's ain't close.
That's usually the angle people take.
White Castle hits a certain spot in a certain way. It is nowhere near the same category as Five Guys or In-N-Out burger. That's it. It just doesn't compete. Those are drunk people food, and it's good. When you're drunk. But as far as quality product, White Castle ain't it. It's the bottom basement beef with the buns, and you know what I mean. It's
it's got them little onions.
It does.
And it tastes good. Little crystals that burst inside of your mouth when you eat them.
But it's like comparing a steak to a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It's not the same thing.
Necessarily think it's PB&J. I would say like a steak to like Steakums.
Okay, yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's a fair point.
You don't have to be so insulted with your insults, sir. I'm just saying what I've seen by like most comparisons online. It's like they'll go In-N-Out versus White Castle. It's what I usually see.
Yeah, White Castle can't hold a candle to those. It hits a niche market, and it's by God the best in the business at that. But when it comes to more upscale fast food, if that's a term,
it absolutely is. Yeah.
It's not in that category. So it's just not.
Fair enough.
So okay, but one thing I noticed was we took pictures. I have lost a lot of hair since 2013. like there's a lot of brown left, and still if you can see this one picture, it's me. I think this one we're at Five Guys. Yeah. Look how much hair I've got here.
Oh, I'll come around.
I looked at this picture, and then one earlier. That one's Five Guys. That one's In-N-Out. And both pictures, I'm like, man, look how younger I look in 2013 compared to 2022.
I'm scared to look back now. It's becoming more and more painful.
It just looked at me. I was like, dang, I'm getting old. I look.
The hair is still there. It's just you're due for a good just for minning.
Well, no, it's losing. You do not used to be able to see skin here. Now you can see skin.
Yeah.
That was not a problem in 2013.
What did the line from Scrubs? He goes, "For God's sakes, man, stop brushing so hard."
Yeah, that was the biggest takeaway from those pictures. I'm looking like, I wish I still had that hair. My hair.
I miss the old man.
Oh, well. I think our guest is here. I think I heard him coming in. Larry Martin with wearing his Midday Lions hat is joining us today. Scroll up one. Just scroll up a little bit. That's a better picture of my hair.
Oh, wow.
See?
Huh.
See? It's night and day different.
Fair enough. I'm all trying to prop for you, but no.
I'm right.
That's depressing.
It is, isn't it?
That's depressing.
Isn't that depressing? Yeah. Welcome to my world. That's the problem with these memories. It makes me feel old all of a sudden. So it is 16 minutes after 9 o'clock. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Should be pretty nice today. We're expecting low 70s with high pressure over our area. We should get plenty of sunshine. Turning cloudy overnight, we'll drop into the low to mid 40s, and then tomorrow mostly sunny, and we're back up to about 70. Little system rolling in on Wednesday night with a few showers, and then sunny and a little bit cooler on Thursday. Our afternoon high in the low 60s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 55 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 69%. Winds are actually calm at the moment. Mostly sunny today. Expect highs near 70. Winds will be out of the west, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Dare I say, a beautiful day here in Roswell, New Mexico. For tonight, mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 42. Winds will be out of the west at around 5 miles per hour. Wednesday, not quite picture perfect like today, but looking like a pretty fine day nonetheless. Partly cloudy. High of 65 tomorrow. Winds will be out of the west, 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, they're saying there's a chance, a 20% chance at rain showers. Remember, 80% chance no rain showers, but they're saying there's a chance nonetheless. Mostly cloudy, overnight low of 41. Winds will be out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, mostly sunny, 63 for a high. Northwest winds at around 10 miles per hour. Sunny and high near 60 on Friday, and more of the same for the weekend. Mostly sunny, 63 Saturday, sunny and 64 on Sunday. So for the first week, I guess full week of December, that would be the term we use, no complaints. We're going to be in the 70 today and nice 60s the rest of the week. So enjoy this, I don't know what you call it, post-fall, pre-spring weather, whatever you call it. It's nice. All right, it is 18 minutes after 9 o'clock. We're going to take a 2-minute commercial break, and then Larry Martin going to join us. We'll talk. We're going to talk a little different than literacy counts today. We're going to talk Midday Lions. So don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Eastern New Mexico University in Portales is proud to offer potential students the opportunity to attend ENMU tuition-free with the New Mexico Opportunity Scholarship. And now we are proud to announce the newly created Freshman Hound Housing Room Grant, which will allow students the opportunity to receive up to $3,000 per year off their housing costs when living on the ENMU campus. For more information on how ENMU is making higher education more affordable for you and your family members, visit enmu.edu. Eastern New Mexico University. Student success. That's what we're about.
Wakefield Oil Company is a name you can rely on with full service at the pump the way it used to be. You can expect service in just 15 seconds. They offer bulk fuel and oil services and even diesel exhaust fluid. Wakefield Oil Company will deliver to farms, ranches, dairies, the oil fields, and more with dependable service you can count on. So the next time you need service or delivery, go with the name that locals have trusted since 1983. Wakefield Oil Company, 311 South Virginia in Roswell. Let them earn your business.
A comedian once said, "No one can tell me anything, not even myself." Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for The Joy of Marriage.
You know, most people stop listening and start forming an answer or response when someone's talking to them within 7 seconds, so they miss most of the information.
John 10:27 says, "My sheep listen to my voice. I know them, and they follow me."
You know, when Julie and I were preparing for this, she looked right at me after I spoke for a while and said, "What?" I guess we all have work to do in listening. But you know what? Just like learning to know God takes time and focus and to know His voice, it's going to take time and focus to really get to know our spouse and to really start enjoying and loving marriage.
If you have any questions or would like further information about the Joy of Marriage Ministry, please go to jomconference.com.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. U-Haul is the world's largest advertiser in the Yellow Pages. Too bad millennials don't know what the Yellow Pages are. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 21 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, again, wearing a different hat this morning, got his Midday Lions hat on. Larry Martin back with us. Morning, how you doing, Larry?
Very good. It's a great day.
Good. How's things been since we talked to you last week?
Well, that was like 3 days.
Weather's nice. You can't complain there. So.
Yeah.
Of course, if you do have any, if you need the help of the Roswell Literacy Council or you'd like to volunteer, Larry's the guy you need to talk to. They're looking for new folks to come utilize the services, and we're looking for new folks to come and help be mentors and teachers, and not teachers per se, but be that person helping with these lesson plans and helping these folks go from being illiterate to literate. So.
Yeah, we know there's a lot of people out there who are retired or just good teachers. They don't always have to have been a teacher.
Sure.
But
it is helpful, but not by any means required.
That's right. It's a certain training and technique you use to be able to teach. You just can't go do it.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. That's it. You always hear. Remember, like the old saying, "Those who can't teach," and I'm like, yeah, I get that what you're saying there, but to be honest, those who can't teach either. That's my point. Is just because you know something doesn't mean you're the best at teaching it. The good news is you guys have all the kind of the material and kind of to teach people how to teach it.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, yeah, people that have that patience and the ability to sit down and make things not clear to people, that's a special skill set that obviously teachers have spent, like you said, retired ones, probably 25 plus years doing that in classrooms. So they're pretty good at it. So any retired teachers love, but by any means, if you're fluent, you can read, you can write, you have a high school diploma, that's really what we're looking for, is people that can do, you're teaching the basic stuff. So reach out to Larry and the Literacy Council if you'd love to do that. And conversely, if you are having problems with that, maybe you want English as a second language, maybe you're trying to get your GED or you're trying to, personal gain and growth to become literate for your kids, for your grandkids, whatever it is, your reasoning is, please reach out and let the Literacy Council help you.
Yeah, we have people that'll help you learn, and we're always looking for people who will be the helper.
Yeah.
Along with the helpee.
Yes, right. We need them both.
Yeah. And while we're on that, I picked up your National Guard brochure out there on the Youth Challenge.
Yeah.
I want to give them a plug that we tutor out there from Literacy Council in math and English, maybe 2 hours a week. And it's very fulfilling, frankly, because as I mentioned the other day, when the kids come out there, they're 16 to 18, out of school.
Mm-hmm.
They're on the way downhill, and this program probably keeps a lot of them out of jail, to be honest. And
it gives them a future.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Several of them join the military if they're qualified, and the military wouldn't take the beginners in this class, I guarantee it. But the military is a little picky, and they get requirements.
Depending on the branch. Right. Some are a little more stringent than others.
Yes. Yeah.
Marines will take a few more people than, say, the Air Force.
But you got to be physically.
But you got it. Yeah, you got to come correct.
You can't come limping into the recruitment station.
In all fairness, if you're out of shape, they will put you in shape by the time your basic training is done.
That's right. Anyway, the Youth Challenge takes 16 to 18-year-old kids, and we help tutor them. And some of them don't know their multiplication tables. Now, I bet if I went to Roswell High School, I'd find kids there who don't know the multiplication table.
I would completely agree. I'm sure. Kids, there's some slip through the cracks. It's just life happens, or like you said, especially when those youth that are at Job Corps, this is kind of traditional methods didn't work for these kids.
Yeah.
And so they're looking for another way to do it, and that's where Job Corps and groups like it, and with y'all's help, it makes it that great program where they give them skill sets and give them things that they can pursue, whether it's going military or going to a trade school or a college to go on and get more experience and more education there. They set the table for it, or it is Job Corps. A lot of times on some of those vocations that they teach, by the time they completed the program, they're offered a job in the workforce and are ready to kind of put roots down a little bit.
Amen. And you look now, everyone's looking for someone that'll work.
Absolutely.
So I would imagine the Job Corps is full of people.
It's a great program. They do a great job of reaching the kids that the school system it wasn't for them for whatever reason, discipline, or sometimes the way it's taught just doesn't register. People learn differently, and some kids don't. It's like some kids have more creative brains, and so they learn differently, and someone that's more logical, analytical thinking. And so you got to you got to present the information to them in a different way for them to absorb it.
Yeah.
And Job Corps does that, where school, does a good job of trying to do some of that, but sometimes the numbers just don't allow that to happen that way. So that's the big thing. So great program, and it's great to see that you guys have been there for a while. Yes. Even through COVID, you guys were helping as much as you could.
Yeah, until they shut down for a year, I believe. I can't remember exactly. But anyway, we're looking for tutors that can go in starting probably around the end of January for 4 or 5 months. 4 months, I believe. 22-week program. That's, let me see, 22 divided by 4 is 5.
I was going to let you do the math. I was going to watch it. I was like, don't ask a radio guy. I'm like, I'll figure it out, but I got to get fingers and toes involved.
Also, I'm here with the Lions Club. We're having a carriage ride this Friday and Saturday night and next week.
This is your annual Christmas fun event, fundraiser slash just opportunity for folks to get a little Christmas spirit and cheer.
We like to have a little cash on hand so we can buy eyeglasses for kids who don't get them. Now, the school has a program for that, too. If you talk to your school nurse, she can help you. But we have exceptions, and we also have a program we're going to start up in Roswell, kids site, where we go in and we take a picture of kids' eyes somewhere like Head Start through the first grade. And from that computer, they can tell if that child has problems. Now, that's really amazing to me.
Interesting. So in essence, the picture's a scanning of some kind.
Yes,
some kind
of scanning in your eyeball.
CAT scan or something. Yeah.
Whatever.
Interesting.
I don't know, But the idea is that we can catch a lot of kids if we can get the schools and the preschools to agree and let us do it. It doesn't cost them anything, and it would take a couple of minutes per kid, every child.
Sure.
My children were kids.
Right. Back when we were kids.
Anyway, and we're going to work on that next spring.
Good.
So hopefully we can get in there. And if you have anything to do with the school, ask your nurse or your principal if we can talk to the Lions Club.
Absolutely, yeah. And so I'm guessing, too, if there's families out there in need, reach out to you guys, and you guys will put them in touch with the people that can help them with some of that stuff, too. Yeah. If you can't help directly, with the Lions Club there. So, but if you don't have eye problems but want to support a great cause and have a little Christmas cheer for you and your family, then this weekend come out for the carriage rides. Kind of give I know you guys go out through the pecan orchards out in like Aspen, that area.
Yeah.
What time's everybody meeting, and how do they get reservations and all that good stuff?
The reservations is RoswellMiddayLions.org.
Okay, so go to that website.
That website, then you can get them real easy.
Perfect. Then you can just sign up free time and all that stuff.
If you want to feel daring, you can come and hope you get a ride. But if
it's first come, first serve on that.
Yeah,
and reservations take priority, obviously.
Right.
There's a reason why those. But if you go to RoswellMiddayLions.org,
right,
and then you can select your time and everything else there. And what's cost involved in everything? $10. And again, it's a fundraising event for the Midday Lions, so they can continue the eyeglass programs and doing more of the work we were just talking about here. So if you want to pay 20 or 30 or whatever, it's for a good cause.
We'll be happy for you to donate.
Yes, absolutely.
We're always looking for sponsors who would like to provide a wagon load to the Boys and Girls Club.
That would be cool. Like pay it forward a little bit. I don't want to ride in the wagon, but I'd love for someone else to have that opportunity.
Right. So we're working on that. We're hoping. I have to admit the people who put the lights up on the two streets don't get paid by us. They do it by themselves. And
so they do it out.
So it's a great two streets that we go down.
Yeah, it's a pretty little area it's over by the Boy Scout headquarters. Matter of fact, I think y'all are meeting in the parking lot of the Boy Scout headquarters, which is there on Aspen. If you're on Country Club and you know where the pecan orchards and all that, you'll see the church for Latter-day
Saints, yeah.
And it's that road right there. That's Aspen.
It's nice big church with a steeple. Can't miss it unless you're,
that's always my landmark for where Aspen is when I'm going down that road. But if you hit Sycamore, you went too far that way. And if you hit, what is
Montana now.
Yeah, Montana there now. Yeah. You went too far the other way. It's in between those two there. So So, and certainly if you go out by the hospital and all that, you went way too far.
Yeah, we start at 6, and the last ride's at 9. Every 30 minutes, basically. We have a 28-minute ride.
And that's a pretty area with the pecan orchards and everything, and, Christmas lights that'll be up in the area around that time. It's a beautiful little kind of cool little oasis spot here in our town there. It's pretty to look at the trees and look at the lights and look at all of that fun stuff. But come out and be a part of it. So
we have the wagon is well lit. We've decorated it yesterday, so it's going to look great.
Good deal.
We have lots of lights at the launch site, so red lights, so you can't miss it if you're on the country club. Just kind of look around for the big glow and on the north side.
Yeah, exactly. Just follow the glow. Be careful because Jesse McDaniel's house is closer to the hospital, and everyone knows his Christmas light. That glow. Keep going west if you're
the one with the big tree.
That's Jesse McDaniel's where he does his Christmas and Halloween lights and puts on an amazing show.
They still make that a one-way street now.
I think so, but don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% certain. So they go all out. I feel sorry for his neighbors. Neighbor just has to put up a sign saying, what he said. No point trying to keep up with the Joneses there.
I'm with him.
It is, but it's really cool. So if you're maybe do two birds and come out and see those lights, and then before, after, during, come and hit the Midday Lions and come out for the wagon rides and everything here. So kind of make it a whole fun Saturday evening, and either before or after, depending what time you go do the wagon ride, and go out and see Christmas lights and get you some cocoa and have a nice, fun, festive
Roswell
Saturday.
has lots of lights if you know where to look.
It's beautiful. I mean, every weekend, every night, really.
Yeah.
You could go out and just drive around town and see a different patch of lights. And obviously, the closer we get to Christmas, the more that start popping up. But there's a good selection right now. So.
We went out to the lights the other day, the parade.
The Main Street light parade?
Yeah, light parade.
Friday night?
It was really crowded. In fact, there were more people there than the Veterans Parade. I
Wow.
was noticing.
Well, that's good. I'm glad they had a bunch of people.
They had a lot of lights, a lot of vehicles out there.
I heard everything. I was sitting here doing a football game, so I could kind of hear it and see.
Yeah.
But the Wool Bowl was going on at the same time, so I was making sure that was playing on the radio that night.
Well, we sat in our car and listened to the ball game.
Oh, okay. Well, I was listening to the parade because I had my window open and I was just hearing all the sirens and the horns and all that fun stuff and the cheering and celebrating. And so I didn't get to see much, but it sounded like a big fun. And yeah, like you said, there was a lot of people out and about that night.
Well, years ago, my dad and I just drove up in, I think it was McDonald's, parked in their parking lot facing the street. Perfect seat. You can't do that now unless you go about 4 o'clock.
Yeah, it's full up.
It is full. Yeah. People know that now, and
so you kind of have to either get a spot outside or saddle up with one of the other businesses and say, "Hey, can we park in your parking lot?"
Yeah.
And usually they're all pretty agreeable.
They don't mind as long as you buy a burger or two.
Yeah, depending on the lot and the business. If I know there's some lawyers and stuff there. They don't. They're not busy at that time of night.
No.
So. But please come out this Saturday. What time are you starting the carriage rides and
6
everything?
6 o'clock.
6 p.m. and then go to what, about 9?
9's the last takeoff.
So you can go to the website again. It's RoswellMiddayLions.org, and then you can select your time. And how long does each carriage ride last roughly?
Well, about 27, 28 minutes.
So roughly a half hour.
Yeah, we got to unload and load in a couple of minutes. It's real easy.
About 30-minute time commitment.
Yeah.
So they're probably 30-minute intervals, like 6, 6:30, 7s, and so on and so forth. So, and I would say don't wait till this weekend to reserve, because I imagine the longer you wait, the less time slots will be available.
Well, we have had years we were pretty much booked all rides.
All right, so get in there and do your thing, and the sooner you get your reservation, the better you're off, and you can try it, but I wouldn't recommend it if you just space and forget. Come on out Saturday night, hang out, and maybe they can squeeze you in on a ride or something like that. Maybe a group doesn't show, or they got less people.
We do have a fire pit, so you can stay warm while you're waiting.
There you go.
And hot chocolate.
Yeah, of course you got to have your hot cocoa. So
yeah.
just come out and enjoy some cocoa, and in all fairness, it's going to be like 60s during the day, so it won't be freezing cold.
This week is going to be nice.
Yeah, so it'll still be cool enough to sip cocoa.
Yeah,
but not to the point where you don't enjoy being outside.
Well, bring a coat.
Bring a coat.
We do have some blankets.
I don't think you're going to be like frostbitten or anything out there.
No. Well, we had one that was like 20 degrees. I think it got down to 15 by 9 o'clock, and we were kind of cool.
Yeah, that one little chilly. Yeah. So you're wanting the biggest cup of coffee and ending coat you can have there. So.
And we do have a porta potty just in case.
Just in case everybody needs to go while you're out there or anything. Because there's not a whole lot of businesses and things that it's farm and ranch country.
That's why we're there. We don't want to be in the middle of town.
Well, we don't want all the city lights getting in the way of the Christmas lights and all that. And carriage rides in New York City have a flair. Carriage rides in the country also have a nice little flair too. So come out and be a part of it. Again, go right now or here pretty quickly to the Midday Lions website. Again, www.roswellmiddaylions.org, and then you'll see the link to register and sign up for a time right there.
Right.
So, but do it. That's probably going to be your best way. And again, it's only $10 per trip or per person. And all of that money raised goes to the Midday Lions program with eyeglasses and trying to help families to get eyeglasses for kids and everybody. So all kids can see when they're in school.
Lions is one of many service clubs in town who don't get paid anything.
It's all volunteers.
Strictly volunteers, the minimum expenses, for rent or whatever.
Sure. You kind of live hand to mouth just to keep expenses down.
That's right. And the money goes to a good cause on all these service clubs. So,
so every dime you're donating to have some fun is going to help a kid here in our community, which is a good thing.
Right.
So,
and that's one thing about Roswell. I've found there's a lot of volunteers, not just with me or that I'm associated with, but I notice them all over the place. So
we do. We have a great community of
city.
people.
You betcha.
Getting involved in lots of things, and I say this all the time. I personally think every single able-bodied person in town should find their passion and get more involved with it. I mean, I don't care if it's youth sports or something like the Lions or Kiwanis or one of these organizations or whatever it is. If it's anything that's doing a benefit or a service for our community, maybe you're working with the Homeless Coalition or them, or maybe the Roswell Refuge and domestic. I don't care. Wherever your passions lie, pick that thing and support it. And if we all did that, just picked our one thing and supported it, I guarantee we'd have so much to give and so much generosity in our community.
That's a big factor.
Yeah, just and you don't have to go crazy. I mean, some people like myself included are involved in 10, 12 different things. I'm not asking for people. Just pick one. Because I get it. You got a family, you got your job, you got life. It's busy. But if you got some free time, devote one cause, one thing that you're passionate about. I don't care what it is, and get involved with it. And if everybody in this community did that, we have an amazing community. And we do now, but it would be so much better. So that's just my challenge to people out there. Find your thing and get involved and support it. And you'll be surprised at how many good things come from that. So,
I got one thing I've almost forgot. The Literacy Council is still going to have a Knowledge Bowl sometime in February or March.
Okay. So start putting together your teams now.
Right. Start thinking
Team
about
of 5, right?
Right.
And we invite youth groups, school groups, civic organizations, just 5 people that are buddies that want to participate. There's no rules other than, it's trivia contest, and you got to have at least one person on your team, but maximum of 5.
Right.
So, and it would be, unless you're some kind of Sheldon genius or something, you might want to invite some friends to help you out because the teams are pretty savvy and pretty smart.
Well, I was going back through some of the winners. We have pictures at the Literacy Council, and it was just 5 guys, who got together.
Yeah,
and won the titles.
5 people that
they didn't have an organization; they just got together.
They just
it's
like
cool.
trivia.
I suggest Sunday school classes could do that.
Yeah,
real easy.
Absolutely,
it'd be fun.
Yeah,
Sertoma won it one time. Eagles won it 3 years ago, and Lions Club won it, I think, 2 years ago.
Okay. I know
it's very competitive, and we do it in a professional manner, and
it's a lot of fun.
It's on a Sunday afternoon. So get your 5 guys. There's nothing going on. There's no football that weekend.
Yeah.
That's why we go to February.
It makes sense. You're not competing with Cowboys or anybody else for that matter. So it's a lot of fun. I've done it. We participated last time with our American Legion post and had a great time. We had a lot of fun, a lot of great people, a lot of friendly bantering and talking, and just a good time, and lots of fun snacks and food. It was really just a fun, neat experience, and it's more just peacocking a little bit. It's like, man, how'd they get that one? There's a little bit of that going, but that's the fun of it.
That question?
Yeah, it's like and then someone knows it, and you're like, that's impressive.
Yeah. Where'd he go to school?
Right. And that's what it's so fun about it. It's a lot of fun, and they have a good time, and you can handle up to how many? A whole bunch.
Well, we could have 40 teams.
40 teams is where
we can fit that in.
And it's more fun
Center.
with more teams. So please start considering putting your teams together. Have fun with it. Maybe get you a few practices. Go to like Buffalo Wild Wings or one of these places where they do the little trivia deal at the bar games.
Yeah.
Maybe do a few practice runs at one of those. And
I've seen a few of those, and we tried to avoid those questions because we know too many people.
That's true too. But if you're trying to get into the rhythm of answering questions and kind of looking stuff, that kind of might get you in that mindset a little bit at least. Even if you're not looking for answers to questions, you're gonna have to study up on because you go from just general knowledge, so it covers a little bit of history, sports, pop culture. It covers them all the bases there. So it's not. We talked about this last time. You don't try to get gotcha questions. You're trying to get questions that you have a chance of knowing, but aren't so easy that
there's some relevance to life today.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not something obscure like how many letters were in the like no one cares about that. That's just stuff that factoids that people that are uber fans of that particular thing like to know.
Well, I remember watching College Bowl here the other day. I don't know if it was a replay or not, but college students.
Yeah.
Now, all 4 of those guys that are on the team have an IQ of about 180.
Yeah. So they hit them with different questions.
Yeah. So they ask questions that I have absolutely no idea.
Yeah.
And 3 of the 4 may not know it, but one guy comes up with it. So we're not that esoteric, or we're not. Come on, we're out there to have fun.
Yeah, we're not hoity-toity.
I would say most people know about 2/3 of the questions. So it's really that last third,
right,
where the differentiation between the winners and losers.
Well, and you'd be amazed at what you know, and you don't realize you know it till you get a question, and you're like, oh, I can't believe I knew that. Yeah. It kind of does that too. So. If they have any questions about anything, of course, the Middays Lions and signing up to get the carriage rides this Saturday between 6 and 9 p.m., go to the Midday Lions website, roswellmiddaylions.org. Get your reservation before this weekend. And then, of course, if you have questions about anything with the Literacy Council and stuff, there's a Roswell Literacy Council Facebook page, website you can go to, and, of course, come by the office there on
10th Street.
10th Street, yeah. And come by for a visit. So, good deals. Or anything we missed? Anything we wanted to share?
I hope not.
We got a bunch, and if not, we'll get you back in. And of course, if you want to become a member of the Lions, Midday Lions, reach out as well. Say, hey, I'm new to town, and maybe I was a Lion where I was at before, and you want to come and be, or you just want to learn. You were listening earlier and said, you know what, I do want to get involved with an organization, do something. Yeah. Those Midday Lions guys sound like they're doing good stuff.
Well, I can assure you that Sertoma and Kiwanis and Optimus all would like to have new members.
Sure.
If you feel like go to a meeting, check them out, see if their goal is what you want to work with.
And they're all great organizations, and they all do great work in our community.
It helps, especially if you're new in town. You meet a whole lot of people.
Absolutely. So you're looking to make connections and go to one of these meetings and have lunch with them, and next thing you know, you got a whole network of people you now are a part of. So,
if in doubt, you can go to the Chamber of Commerce. They'll tell you how to meet. Go to
Chambers is they're a great source for information and stuff too. But definitely come out Saturday, come out and enjoy a beautiful evening under the stars in the carriage, getting in the Christmas spirit, and helping out the Midday Lions here so they can keep helping kids in our community.
We do have a cover on the wagon, so if it rains, we're still doing it.
We still got it.
Yeah.
But so rain or shine, it's happening. Unless it's like torrential crazy, but none of that's going to happen Saturday. I don't think a hurricane's rolling through anytime soon. Or tornado, for that matter.
We did have a little snow on here, but it was kind of like flakes.
And to me, that's perfect. That adds to the ambiance. Not blizzard, mind you, but nice little flakes dropping down and sipping your cocoa and, hanging out in the carriage. I mean, that don't tell you it's Christmas time. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Larry, as always. Appreciate the visit, and we'll see you here next time. And anything else we can do, don't hesitate to reach out. Give us a holler.
Will do.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Mike.
It is 9:47. Time to get you up to date with local news. Hannity update as well, plus play a few commercials to take care of lunch. We'll be back on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Now your Pecos Valley News Update. I'm Jared Cirillo. Pavement maintenance work taking place today and Wednesday on East Reed Street between South Main Street and South Virginia Avenue in Roswell. And because of that, you'll need to be alert. Traffic will be limited during working hours on both days. Access, however, will be maintained for residents and businesses in the area, according to a statement from the city of Roswell. A Ruidoso man sentenced to life in prison for killing his 2-year-old son continues to claim his innocence. Ricardo Soto was convicted in October of intentional child abuse. He is appealing that conviction despite prosecutors claiming that he inflicted the boy's injuries and then fled to Mexico to avoid being captured. Soto's defense attorneys claim the child's fractures and ultimate death were actually caused by a pre-existing blood clot combined with a fall at his daycare center. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
Waking up on the right side. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
I mean, what are you going to do if the FBI is having weekly conversations with you and your company? Beyond the alert, they're going to have foreign countries going to try to influence our election, and they're called hack and leak operations, and they might even try to do it to Hunter Biden. And then a Hunter Biden story comes out. And now you're going to say, oh, I'm not going to listen to the FBI? See the level of intimidation there? If Twitter does one team's bidding before an election and they shut down dissenting voices on a pivotal election, that is the definition of election interference. And Twitter was acting like an arm of the Democratic National Committee. That's Elon Musk's own words.
From coast to coast, from sea to shining sea, it's the Sean Hannity Show.
All right, it's Christmas, it's the holiday season, and that means time for gift-giving, parties with your friends and family, and getting compliments everywhere you go. And, of course, looking your best thanks to Genucel. Linda, you're looking younger every time I see you.
Oh, I wish everybody said that every day. And you know what? Now they will throughout the holidays because I go to Genucel.com. I obviously love my Cristal's microdermabrasion. I love all the hyaluronic acids and all of the creams. And the immediate effects is exactly what it says. It is immediate, and I love it.
All right, from now until Christmas, Genucel's most popular package is 70% off when you go to Genucel.com/Sean, and you'll see those troubling forehead wrinkles, fine lines, skin redness, pesky bags and puffiness, and even that sagging jawline disappear right before your eyes with Genucel's most popular collection. And by the way, just go to their website. It's Genucel.com/Sean. Enter my name, special code Sean, for an additional 10% off your entire order. Order today, and it's instantly you'll be upgraded to express shipping. Genucel.com/Sean from our friends at Chamonix.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Should be pretty nice today. We're expecting low 70s with high pressure over our area. We should get plenty of sunshine. Turning cloudy overnight, we'll drop into the low to mid 40s, and then tomorrow mostly sunny, and we're back up to about 70. Little system rolling in on Wednesday night with a few showers, and then sunny and a little bit cooler on Thursday. Our afternoon high in the low 60s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. Today marks the first ever U.S. auction for leases to develop commercial-scale floating wind farms in the deep waters off the West Coast.
The live online auction for the 5 leases has attracted strong interest, 43 companies from around the world. It marks America's first foray into floating wind turbines. Auctions so far have been for ones that are anchored to the sea floor. The need for energy that does not put more carbon into the atmosphere is increasing.
Correspondent Jeremy House. Facebook's semi-independent oversight board says an internal system that exempted high-profile users, former President Trump among them, from some or all of its content moderation rules is in need of a major overhaul. A lower open this morning for Wall Street, following yesterday's heavy losses for the market. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
Jennifer from Trustmark Roofing here, and I can tell you it's not always easy being a female in a male-dominated business like roofing. I remember one time I was at a meeting to bid on the roof for a local college, and it was me and 13 men. Well, I won that bid, and I'd like to win your business too. My dad was a contractor, and I've been around building and roofing my whole life. I'm licensed and bonded, and I've forgotten more about roofing than most roofers ever knew in the first place. But what really sets Trustmark apart is an obsessive attention to detail that ensures that everything goes smoothly the first time. I promise we will treat you right with respect, and we will make you happy. So yeah, it might be a bit odd for a woman to own a roofing company, but give us a try. Let us give you an estimate for your roof. I think you'll be glad you called. For all your roofing needs, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at TrustmarkRoofPros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Over the next several weeks, we want to give you 5 key elements to a great marriage. This is taken from an article by Drs. Les and Leslie Perot. Hi, this is Pastor Troy and Julie Smotherman for The Joy of Marriage. The first one is ownership, taking responsibility for the good as well as the bad.
1 Corinthians 11:31 says, "Judge yourself so you won't be judged." It's talking about the judgment of God, but it also applies to our relationships, especially the ones that are closest to us, like marriage. If you'll just take responsibility for your own actions, it's so much easier for our spouses not to have to point out and criticize us.
So we have to take responsibility for our actions and our reactions, our attitudes and our mistakes. You know, most people would learn from their mistakes if they weren't so busy denying them.
You aren't responsible for what your spouse does. You are responsible for doing your part. So just decide today to do your part and take ownership.
The numbers don't lie. Crime is up in southeastern New Mexico. In 2021, Roswell had almost 40 crimes per 1,000, including larceny, assault battery, burglary, motor vehicle theft, robbery, and homicide. These days, the best defense you can get is having a locally owned company install the best security system available. That's Xena Security Services. They offer real security solutions for your home and business. When it comes to your safety, you need a locally owned, locally minded security company at your defense. Call Xena Security Services today. 575-626-3521. 575-626-3521.
Roswell Skin Center is here to provide comprehensive skin care to southeastern New Mexico in a friendly and warm environment. Dr. Cometti and his team continue to offer a full scope of medical and cosmetic dermatology services, from treating skin cancer to helping you look your best. Roswell Skin Center is proud to introduce Anna Ingalls, licensed esthetician who specializes in cosmetic treatments including laser rejuvenation, hair removal, facials, chemical peels, and more. Anna is accepting new patients, and when you schedule your first treatment, you can receive $50 off and begin earning valuable discounts to be enjoyed throughout the year. Schedule with Anna by calling 575-208-2509, and for more info on our services and rewards, go to roswellskin.com.
Santa Claus is coming to Roswell Nissan. Yup, the Yuletide Merrymaker himself is coming to Roswell Nissan Saturday, December 10th from noon till 3, and he's bringing the party with him. Join Roswell Nissan for family fun for everyone, including a free cookie and cocoa bar, ornament decorating for the kids, a performance by the Charlie's Angels dance team at 2 p.m., and of course, pictures with Santa. And it's all free. So load the sleigh and come meet Santa Saturday, December 10th, noon to 3 at Roswell Nissan, 2111 West 2nd.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Turtles can breathe through their butts. We imagine you know some people who do that too, because that's where their heads reside. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 55 minutes after 9 o'clock. And, we got a few minutes here before we wrap up today's show. I found it was reported in news yesterday, and now kind of getting on all the Main Street stuff about actress Kirstie Alley passing away at the age of 71. I saw it, I think it was on the news or something yesterday when I saw it. surprised me. And apparently she had a bout with cancer, colon cancer. She died from colon cancer. I guess she had a short battle there. So, I don't know all the details and things, but generally speaking, colon cancer is a slow-moving deal. I mean, there's one strain that isn't, but the more popular or more common, maybe that's the term, is a slower-moving strain, and that's, it's deadly and not a lot of treatment they can do. But at the same time, it's slow, so it's easy to catch it early. So I'm not all the sure what happened there, but man, yeah, sad to hear that. Of course, she was kind of a big deal in the 80s. I mean, Cheers was probably one of her more famous things. She replaced Shelley Long on Cheers. I remember seeing her. Is it Star Trek 2? Wrath of Khan she was in? Or is it 3? I think it's 2. But Kirstie Alley plays a Vulcan, and I think Star Trek 2. I think it's 2, the Wrath of Khan. And she's a Vulcan in there, and then she did a bunch of other TV shows and things, and then kind of dropped off the face of the earth there later 90s, and then kind of showed up in reality TV then kind of crazy, with her own demons of, I don't know if she had alcohol, drug, or mental health. She had some problems there in the 90s and kind of was falling off the edge there a little bit. But I hadn't seen or heard from her in a while there. So, and then she obviously battled the cancer and we lost her. So kind of sad to hear. But yeah, she was kind of, in the 80s there, she was a household name and was just, kind of a, you would say, I would see one of the heartthrob type, she was smart, funny, and witty, but she was attractive too. And so she, of the 80s, she was kind of one of those pinup type girl types too, a little bit. So it's kind of, and then to see her, I know a lot of people that didn't grow up in that time see her, and kind of hard to think of her that way, if you see her more recently, But yeah, it was like, go watch. I think it's Wrath of Khan. I'm pretty sure it's Wrath of Khan. You will like, wow, that's Kirstie Alley, because she's done up conservative because she's a Vulcan, so she's like in pulled up hair and tight uniform, the uniform, and very and so she looks a lot different than you come to know her and things. But yeah, that's Kirstie Alley as a Vulcan. All right, that's going to wrap it up for us. If you missed any part of our show, I invite you to check it out at your leisure. Of course, we had Robert Sherman with the Walker Aviation Museum join us in the 7 o'clock hour. Regina Smith with Loveless, she joined us yesterday. We replayed that interview in the 8 o'clock hour. And, of course, just a few minutes ago, we had Larry Martin with the Midday Lions join us here talking about their big carriage event this Saturday out over on Aspen over there by Boy Scout headquarters. So that's going to do it for us. Have an amazing day. We'll be back bright and early, 7 a.m. tomorrow. Thank you very much for allowing us to be a part of your day. Take care.
Your home for Sean Hannity in Roswell. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. It's a much-anticipated election day in Georgia.
Today, Georgia voters will decide the final Senate contest in the country, choosing between Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock and Republican football legend Herschel Walker. The outcome of today's contest will determine whether Democrats have an outright 51-49 Senate majority or control a 50-50 chamber, based on Vice President Kamala Harris's tie-breaking vote. Tasha Stevens reporting.
Also at townhall.com, authorities still investigating an infrastructure attack which has left tens of thousands of people in North Carolina without electricity. White House correspondent Greg Clugston with that report.
Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre says the federal government is offering support to local officials, and the White House is monitoring the situation.
We have been in touch with local officials, and we're going to provide any assistance